certified Toyotas. Plus, we carry Honda, Nissan, Ford, Chevy, and Kia. We have what you're looking for, even vehicles as low as $59.95. Looking for a new car? No problem. Take a look at our huge selection of Highlanders, Tacomas, and the all-new RAV4. Did I mention all these come with a lifetime warranty and oil changes? At Beaver Toyota, if we don't have it, they don't make it. Come check out the all-new Beaver Toyota of Cumming.
Hi, Katie Osborne for Endurance. You know, I realize how blessed I am to work around cars every day. With as much as we rely on our cars, we're keeping them longer than ever, which also means we're probably driving with little and or even no warranty coverage. Whether it's a transmission, power steering, heating and air conditioning, or an alternator, parts and systems in your car are going to break down. And remember, auto insurance only covers you when you're in an accident. It doesn't pay for the repair costs when your car breaks down. That can cost you thousands. An Endurance Vehicle Protection Plan covers your repairs.
For a free quote, text VEHICLE to 474747.
That includes parts and labor, the mechanic of your choice, hotel and food reimbursements, all while giving you 24/7 roadside assistance. And that's why we say insurance plus endurance equals total protection.
For your free quote, text VEHICLE to 474747. That's VEHICLE to 474747.
I was hurt bad at work, and the most the insurance company offered me was $10,000.
I'm Scott Mungie. Don't settle for less. Call me. Get all the money you deserve.
I called the Hammer, and he got me $100,000, 10 times what they said.
And even though I can't guarantee this amount on your injury case, call me and find out how much your case is really worth.
Things are looking up. I hired Mungie and Associates.
Mungie and Associates, the Hammer, 678 Injured, because you want to win.com.
You've seen the headlines about people spying on other people in bathrooms, dressing rooms, all kinds of places. Coming up, 3 tips to help you spot hidden cameras that may be among us.
Plus, fewer tests for Georgia students, why the governor wants to cut back on standardized testing.
11Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
Welcome, everyone. We're glad to have you aboard on this Tuesday night. Spalding County Commissioner Don Hawbaker is in custody following a SWAT situation at a home on Satilla Court.
Shanu Hur joins us now live from outside the Spalding County Sheriff's Office with what we know tonight.
Yeah, that's right, guys. The Spalding Sheriff's Office does have Commissioner Don Hawbaker in custody tonight. Now, investigators say this all started when they tried to serve an arrest warrant earlier. Right now, we're going to turn to footage from the 11Alive Sky Tracker from the scene earlier today. The Sheriff's Office says shots were fired at them when they tried to serve the warrant for simple assault for family violence and disorderly conduct. Investigators had to use gas and negotiate for a peaceful surrender. At one point, it appears a SWAT vehicle crashed into the house. Now, Hawbaker has run into trouble with the law before. In October of 2019, Peachtree City Police arrested and charged him with DUI. Now, Hawbaker's been on the board since 2015. We're told tonight no one was hurt in this standoff. Guys.
Well, we're watching the rain out there tonight. Right now, it just looks like a few skimpy showers, but by this time tomorrow, we'll likely be watching things take a turn for the worse in terms of stormy weather. So we'll expect to see that happen once we get into tomorrow, late afternoon and evening. So right now, just a few showers up the 85 corridor, and they are on the skimpy side, as I said. And as you look a little further out, you can see where all of this is coming from. We'll have waves of rain coming in ahead of this very deep area of low pressure that's going to be moving in, and then that's going to bring in much colder air for the end of the week. So as far as tonight goes, we'll see the chances for rain on the increase. It'll be showery, though. It won't be anything to really write home about, but it is going to be as we head in through the day tomorrow that we see conditions worsen. So showers during the daytime hours, and right around sunset, we'll start to see things fire up here, moving from the southwest to the northeast, right across North Georgia, with some strong thunderstorms possible, maybe even severe, overnight as we head into early on our Thursday morning. And then you would think, well, things must be calming down on Thursday after that what could be a very active night. Well, it looks like more rounds will be coming in than in the afternoon. This line looks particularly strong as we head in through the day. So coming up, we'll talk about the flood risk and that chance of severe weather that we can be seeing unfold here across Georgia in the next 48 hours.
Samantha, thank you. Tuesday night, topping our speed feed, a push to crack down on e-scooters. In Georgia, the Georgia Senate unanimously approved Bill 159. It allows local authorities to regulate scooters within their jurisdiction and to repeal conflicting laws. We have seen a backlash against scooters since they took over Atlanta, with several cities banning them and others approving much tougher restrictions. The proposal now heads to the Georgia House. We'll see what happens there. A second person now in custody for a murder at a Cobb County gas station. Police arrested Charlie Geddes today. Investigators say that he is connected to the murder of 68-year-old Jesse Turner. Turner was killed in a shooting at a BP gas station off of Panthersville Road in October. Two other men are facing charges for the crime. Antonio Crowley already turned himself in, but police are still looking for Tyler Anderson. If you see him, you're asked to call police. Family of a truck driver killed in a fiery crash on I-85 is remembering him with an online tribute. Jonas Werku was one of two people killed in Saturday's crash in Gwinnett County near Jimmy Carter Boulevard, exit 99. His family set up a GoFundMe. They describe Werku as a beloved father, terrific, wonderful husband, and a rock to his family. Emerald Lynn also died in the crash. Police say that Werku was driving a semi hauling fuel, carrying fuel when it crashed into Lynn's car. The tanker and car both caught fire. The road was so badly damaged, crews had to shut down part of it for 10 hours to repair the lanes.
A lot of students dread them, and many teachers aren't too crazy about them either. So there are a lot of people applauding a proposal to slash the number of required standardized tests in Georgia schools. Joe Henke spoke with educators about the governor's proposal.
When you look at the big picture, it's clear Georgia simply tests too much.
Surrounded by educators and lawmakers, Governor Brian Kemp today announced he wants to throw out 5 high-stakes tests required in Georgia schools. Currently, from 3rd grade through 12th grade, students in Georgia are required to take 24 standardized tests across a variety of subjects. The federal government requires 17 tests. By getting rid of a 5th grade social studies test and 4 tests at the high school level, Georgia students would now need to only take 19 tests between 3rd and 12th grade.
For students, these tests may not accurately reflect their personal progress. For teachers, there's substantial burdens on top of an already substantial workload.
Well, I woke up with a smile when I read it.
Berdelia Turner, president of the Atlanta Federation of Teachers, says teachers statewide have been asking for this. And she also believes the test scores do not reflect a student's achievements and eat up valuable time teachers could be using to assist students.
Tests do not tell us everything that we need to know, but we are so happy that the governor is moving in this direction, because the public has a tendency to think that, oh, the test scores are low, not understanding who made that test, what that test measures.
The governor today also proposed giving districts more flexibility in setting test dates to provide more time for teaching.
A state assessment only measures one moment, one time, one day, and how the student is performing at that moment.
Newton County Superintendent Samantha Fury said over the years the state moved from no standardized testing to the other extreme, and she says along the way the art of teaching was lost.
It's nice to see that we're swinging back to the center, and perhaps our teachers will be able to teach and our students will love coming to school.
Well, among the testing changes, the governor also announced he wants to remove certain requirements in the Georgia milestones testing that would keep Georgia in line with federal requirements, but would again aim to reduce testing time and increase instruction time. We want to know what you think of the proposed testing changes. You can join the conversation in the comments section of our 11Alive Facebook page.
State of the Union is now just an hour away. President Trump has been preparing for the speech with a cloud of impeachment that has been hanging over him that is about to clear. He is all but certain to be acquitted in a vote tomorrow afternoon in the Senate. Today, senators were taking to the floor to explain where they stand and why. Here's NBC's Alice Barr in Washington. She has the very latest.
President Trump preparing for his State of the Union address tonight. At the same time, senators ready for a final vote tomorrow in his impeachment trial. Though he's all but certain to be acquitted, the president's team says he won't declare victory until after the vote.
You don't spike a football until the clock hits 00.
A new list of the president's State of the Union guests indicating what he's likely to talk about, from jobs to school choice, immigration to the recent killing of Iran's top military leader, Qasem Soleimani.
And you can expect to hear not just just some of what he's been able to accomplish in the last few years, but a vision looking forward.
Looking past impeachment, though questions remain over whether any senators will cross party lines in the final verdict. They're continuing speeches today on the Senate floor explaining how they plan to vote.
Failure to convict will send a terrible signal that this president and any future president can commit crimes against the Constitution.
The president has done nothing to warrant this impeachment process. He must be acquitted.
Republicans hoping to hold the line with no defections voting to convict. They could be joined by a few Democrats who face a delicate choice in swing districts. Either way, President Trump will deliver his speech tonight knowing the state of impeachment is nearly over.
And a reminder that 11Alive is dedicating an entire team to covering the issues that matter to you this election year. We have you covered. We have listened to the topics that matter most to you: education, the economy, and immigration. Our team will be tackling all of those topics, going a step further to put them in perspective, telling you what it all means for you and your family. Stay tuned here and on 11alive.com.
Well, put down the phone or face a tougher fine. One of Georgia's lawmakers want to up the penalty for people who violate the hands-free law. Right now, the hands-free law calls for a $50 fine the first time a driver is caught using their phone. And the maximum fine for the second offense is $100. But State Representative John Carson wants to throw out the warning and double the fines, meaning if this passes, fines could reach $300 on a third offense. The State House Committee heard testimony on the new bill yesterday, but put off a decision until next week.
Disaster at the Iowa caucuses. What a disaster. Let's say that again. The results finally coming in a little bit, but later than anybody thought. Next, how it all went wrong.
And don't forget, we are streaming right now on the 11Alive YouTube channel. You can subscribe and join the conversation with us in the community section. We've got you covered with more 11Alive news in primetime coming up.
Entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie!
No.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm gonna be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alerts.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, my movement ain't faded. You could assume what you're doing was great.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
Only partial results in yesterday's caucuses in Iowa just now beginning to come in.
Really bizarre. I mean, who would have expected 24 hours ago we would be sitting here talking about the Iowa caucuses in such a way, but we are. Right now, 62% of Iowa's precincts are reporting, and that's it. Results from those precincts show the former mayor of South Bend, Pete Buttigieg, just barely ahead, leading Senator Bernie Sanders. But NBC News says the race still too close to call.
So what went wrong with the results out in Iowa? It all came down to an app that Democratic caucus chairs were using, made by a company called Shadow Inc. Now, to record their votes, the caucus chairs had to download and install the app on their phones, but some weren't able to do that or waited until Election Day to download it. There were other reports that the app was confusing to use and that people had no formal training, but that wasn't the underlying problem, at least not according to the maker of the app. The company said a coding issue was the real source of the issues. They say that the vote count was accurate, but the process to get the results from the app to election officials was what went wrong. Here in Georgia, the presidential primaries in March will be the first real test of something new here for us as well, those new voting machines. But when compared to the Iowa voting app, it's like apples and oranges. Next month, voters will use a touchscreen computer to vote. Not too different from the old system. What is different is a printer will then print out a paper ballot that shows you your vote. You can check to make sure everything is accurate, it's all correct, then feed it into a scanner which records it and enters it into the system along with all of the other votes. The printed ballots are kept inside the voting machine. The whole purpose of this is to make sure that voters have a printout to show their vote so they can make sure it's correct before it is actually officially recorded.
Well, your 11Alive storm trackers have been tracking just a few showers out there tonight, but things are going to get much more active once we get into tomorrow night at about this time. I'm meteorologist Samantha Moore, and we're watching those showers work their way up 85 right now. Not much to them. In fact, you may head out tonight and not see a single drop because they're pretty much right parallel to 85 here on the north side, and you have to go pretty far to see anything very heavy. But once you get back into the Mississippi River Valley, that's where things pick up a little bit in terms of intensity. And we're going to see this system continue to develop with a very deep area of low pressure across the nation's midsection the next 24 to 48 hours. So right now, as we look outside, you can see the winds picking up a bit. The winds will also be picking up as we head into the next 24 hours. They'll be gusting up to around 25 miles per hour tomorrow afternoon. What a great sunrise, though. Tommy Meyer, one of our 11Alive storm trackers, up and at 'em with his drone this morning, getting this beautiful sunrise shot. And then sunset was just as gorgeous. Almost looked a little terrifying, almost looked like a forest fire here, but it wasn't. It was the bright, brilliant sunset behind the trees. And that was in Ackworth as Michelle Mason took a picture this evening at sunset. So these temperatures, it does not feel like February, does it? It has been so warm. 69 our high, so just 1 degree shy of 70. Our low 57, and we should be around 54 and 36 this time of year. So we were well above average. Temperatures overnight will be mild as well as those clouds blanket in some of that warmth. We'll see the rain starting in. Overnight, we'll continue to see the showers off and on. Most of those will be pretty light, though. But as we head into the next 48 hours, starting tomorrow evening, there'll be a flash flood watch in place with some 3 to 4 inches of rain expected. We do expect to see some runoff, so the National Weather Service it upgraded our flood watch into a flash flood watch and extended it further down as our ground is pretty saturated. And if we get a lot of rain, we could end up seeing some flooding concerns here. In fact, as you look at our future rain amounts through Friday morning, there is that 2.5 to 4 inches right over the Atlanta metro area. And then it looks like we get a little more on our Saturday and a bit more at the beginning of next week as well. So showers overnight tonight and through much of tomorrow. Those are not going to be a big deal. But it is going to be the strong to severe storms we see form tomorrow late and into Thursday that we're concerned about because we'll have waves of strong to severe storms overnight and in through the day on our Thursday. So we'll be watching for that. So here's this QR code. If you aim your phone at it, if you don't have the 11Alive app yet, you can download it, set your notifications to let you know if there are any severe warnings in your area. It's really quick to do, and it's a great way to stay on top of it because a lot of these storms are going to be overnight as we head into Wednesday night and Thursday morning. So the Storm Prediction Center has given us that level 1 out of 5 levels, a marginal risk of severe storms on our Wednesday night. We could have some damaging wind gusts and some trees coming down as well as limbs coming down, and then that risk of tornadoes overnight and in through Thursday as well. And you can see even a better chance of that here in the yellow. That is a level 2. That's a slight chance. It just means a little more widespread coverage is possible of strong to severe storms. So you can see just showers as we head in through Wednesday, and umbrellas should take care of this. It'll be a little breezy though. In the evening, in comes the heavy rain, and look at this overnight. 11:30, strong storms moving on in, continuing overnight into the morning commute on Thursday, and then we're not done. There are a few more waves coming in through here, and we'll see another line of severe storms once we get into that evening drive time on Thursday, and then possibly some wintry weather behind this system on the backside on Friday morning in North Georgia. We could see a few flakes fly potentially. So on our Wednesday, a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms late. On Thursday, 100% chance it will see some very heavy rain and some possible severe storms with the risk of some isolated tornadoes. Friday, we dry it out. We may see a few flurries behind that system in North Georgia, and then a 30% chance of rain on Saturday. Sunday is looking terrific, the best part of the weekend, with more rain expected at the beginning of next week.
Samantha, thank you. If you are thinking about moving, you know, California has always held a special luster, a place almost in mythical dimension as far as people wanting to move to the Golden State, but it has changed. People seeking a higher quality of living are not going to California. California is losing residents by the thousands, led by exiting millennials. NBC's Jane Wells has the story.
California used to be the place where everyone dreamed of going. Now people dream of leaving.
My economic situation there was not great.
Sydney Mulkey is a 30-year-old educator from Oakland who was living with her grandmother to make ends meet.
At one point, I was working 3 jobs, and I was just really tired. So that was kind of the last straw.
So she moved to Portland, Oregon, where she got the same job for more pay and was able to buy a brand new townhouse. Danielle and Scott Fortier are Los Angeles natives who picked up and moved their family and small business to Nashville.
We've been here about 6 months, and in that 6 months, we've already had 6 friends of ours, 6 couples, relocate to the same area also.
Now, these are not isolated examples. The Census Bureau says California had a net loss of 190,000 people last year. Now, that's a relatively small number, but it's growing.
People have this image of all these old people who are frustrated leaving, but actually the ones who are leaving are family age people 30 to 54, that group, that's the group that's leaving.
For the Fortiers, moving to Nashville has allowed them to save for retirement. Scott no longer has to work 80-hour weeks. They traded in this 3,100 square foot house on a small lot in L.A. for a larger house on 7 acres in Tennessee, which even includes a building for their business.
Property taxes in California were about $7,200 a year, and our property taxes here are $2,800 a year.
Migration out of California could have national implications. The state's unique culture of innovation took decades to build and benefited the entire country, attracting the best and brightest from around the world. That is not easily recreated somewhere else.
There is no substitute for California. When somebody moves from California to Dallas, they may live a better life. Will they have the same impact they would have had they been in California? I'm not so sure.
But do these millennials miss California?
I think leaving our family was the hardest part.
Yeah, I do, especially on days like today when it's just rainy and gloomy and very dark at 7:30 in the morning.
But California's great weather may no longer be enough.
Well, who is spying on you in your most private moments? These days, criminals are getting creative, so we're getting tips on how you can spot hidden cameras.
If it's in your neighborhood, it's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed morning rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Jess.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscast not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water, because I'm sugary. Yeah, right.
About that?
Reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes. A little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin.
You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not gonna be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta.
People who want to invade your privacy in your most intimate moments have the technology now to do it. And the chances of you ever noticing are slim. We've reported on several cases of hidden cameras in some of Atlanta's busiest restaurants and public spaces. So how do you spot something that shouldn't be in your dressing room or maybe even in the bathroom stall? Nicole Zimick with our sister station in Phoenix learned from an expert that she's sharing the tips that you need to know tonight.
Cameras can fit in anything. Can you spot the camera on this phone charger? It's here.
Of course, a lot of people are victimized. They may not even know it.
Lonnie Dworkin is a forensic investigator. He sees firsthand how criminals misuse hidden cameras and where they hide them.
Dressing rooms, public bathrooms, that's most of what I've found. They're the easiest to target.
And not always obvious. So would you be able to spot the camera in a dressing room, in a bathroom? We're putting me to the test. Kiss Me Kate Boutique in Phoenix allowing us in for this experiment, letting our investigator set up cameras.
We have a variety of very small cameras.
Without me knowing where.
Okay, so inside the dressing room right now, and I'm looking around, and this is standard dressing room, so you know that they aren't very big.
You wouldn't think there'd be many places to hide a camera.
Nothing on the walls. I'm not seeing anything on these hooks.
I don't see any cameras, but the cameras see me.
Nothing there.
In fact, I look right at one of the hidden cameras and still miss it. So where are they? The first camera is behind the small black sign. I thought it was just decoration.
And it's also located in a space that most people don't look at. When you walk into a dressing room, you don't look up and around. You're looking at the mirror and you want to try the clothes on.
Right. The second camera?
Would you like a hint?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you my camera.
Okay, and then I can see it based on...
Yes.
Well, okay, so it's going from down. And I see, okay, it's got to be in that basket.
Yes.
Recording up at me. An intrusive angle for anyone changing. What about inside a bathroom? We've seen headlines about hidden cameras in public bathrooms.
It's alive. Wait for it to come online here. Here we go.
All right, so here we are inside a public bathroom. Unfortunately, there are very often times hidden cameras in public bathrooms like this.
Meanwhile, Lonnie is watching me on his phone.
And then, as you can see, just at first glance, I'm not seeing anything except for this right here. I feel like that just might be a scent diffuser.
I linger on the air freshener, but I'm not sure, and I can't really tell.
Okay, so I'm seeing the angle here, and I've clearly missed something very obvious. Is it up here? Is it that one?
Yeah.
The one that I thought was the sensor, or I thought it was a scent thing. Well, Lonnie, that is unsettling. What's the takeaway?
Generally, they're looking for voyeur angles, which might be from the floor up or from high down. So I would look for things around the edges of the stall. Any equipment that doesn't belong on the floor.
The big takeaway here is that you can never be too aware of what's happening all around you.
Well, it used to serve as a Civil War battleground, but it soon will be turned into a paved parking lot, in the words of Joni Mitchell. Why county officials say there is nothing they can do to stop it.
Made at home from different backgrounds, languages, and religions, and who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man, Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film, Hawks' Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on The Morning Rush on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Mom, where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie!
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm gonna be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alert.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, call me.
Republicans and Democrats alike have their sights set on Georgia this election year as a potential swing state. Winning here has rarely seemed more crucial. 11Alive's Doug Richards takes a closer look at what's pushing us closer to purple.
Here's a question you may have heard before. Politically, is Georgia becoming a purple state? We know statewide races between Republicans and Democrats got a lot closer in 2018. One easily overlooked measurement is here in the Georgia House of Representatives, when some longtime Republican lawmakers lost their seats in 2018 and many more barely held on to theirs. In the face of challenges by Democrats in 2020, Democrats hope to flip the House or at least come close.
Well, I think certainly that it has changed. Our whole state is changing, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I'm raising more money. I'm getting more people involved with the campaign, but there is no lack of enthusiasm and fervor in this community.
For a Democrat, you mean?
For a Democrat.
Now, one of the things that would work in their advantage would be if some of these Republicans decide not to run for re-election, make it an open seat.
So we've got a close look at the voting data, and we will show you how many seats are really at stake here in the Georgia House of Representatives in 2020. Tonight on 11Alive News Up Late.
Your 11Alive storm trackers tracking the increasing threat for storms once we get into tomorrow night. I'm meteorologist Samantha Moore, and we're looking at a few showers kind of working their way up parallel to the I-85 corridor right now, very light. These aren't going to pose any threat whatsoever, just some light nuisance showers out there. But once we get into tomorrow, we'll see that area of showers expanding, becoming more widespread. And then late tomorrow, we'll likely see those storms moving in, some of which could be severe. So For tonight, just a few showers. Temperatures very mild, near 60 degrees overnight. Tomorrow morning, we'll have those scattered showers, the winds picking up out of the southwest, some 10 to 15. Those temperatures very mild to start tomorrow, and then warming up to close to 70 degrees by the afternoon. We'll have those winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour, so warm and windy for the beginning of February. And then those storms move in during the evening hours, first from the southwest to the northeast. And then once we get into Thursday, early on Thursday in the morning till late in the evening, we could see strong to severe storms. Some of those could even spawn an isolated tornado or two. We could have damaging winds as well as an increasing flood risk. We have a flash flood watch that goes into effect late tomorrow evening and will stay in place until we head into the end of the week. And guess what? That is not the only game in town. This big storm looks like we'll have some rain over the weekend. We'll time that out for you coming up, and also into the beginning of next week, how we think that could impact us as well.
Sam, thank you. 6 people temporarily homeless after a fire in northwest Atlanta that tops our speed feed tonight. Our 11Alive Sky Tracker shows firefighters working at the one-story home on Rosemary Street. Atlanta fire officials say no one was home when the fire started, but it did kill some of the family's pets, including a dog, turtle, and bird. Police bust 3 boys who they say were breaking into cars in the Brookhaven Heights community. Officers arrested 17-year-old Julio Rodriguez Mora and 2 other boys. A person who lives in the neighborhood told police they saw the 3 suspects tugging on car door handles last week trying to get inside. Brookhaven police say they think they were using the neighbor's platform offered by Ring to find their next victim. And a Brookhaven mom will appear on a national TV show, In Pursuit with John Walsh. Estefina Roman Aguilar was wanted for the murder of her 5-month-old daughter in 2016. Police responded to a call about the child being unresponsive. The cause of death was eventually determined to be suffocation. Police never find Roman Aguilar. They are also looking for her father, Jose Hilaro Gomez. Investigators believe they could be living somewhere in the southeastern part of the United States. In Pursuit with John Walsh airs tomorrow at 10 p.m. on Investigation Discovery.
The shot everybody's talking about. Yesterday, we told you about the Pace Academy basketball team. The manager there is named Daniel Lucky. Has there ever been a better last name for a kid? He was given the opportunity to suit up for senior night. Pace always has really good basketball teams. And he did. Today we spoke to Daniel. He says his moment was like a dream.
I just wanted a way to reward him for just being so diligent and being so faithful to our program. And so I thought this would be a great way to reward him.
I never mentioned it, but that's what you're hoping for. You know, you're sitting there silently always thinking, man, it'd be cool if I could dress for one game. This crazy moment of, I can't believe that just happened. Like, I'm getting mobbed by all these people, and I'm just thinking just how grateful I am.
Even us as coaches, we were excited, and we kind of jumped up, and our guys on the bench, they just ran out on the floor, and they were so happy for him.
You know, I like to think of it like that's me. I'm on that video. I did that thing, but I think what resonates about this whole video is not, you know, the kid made a great move, the kid made the shot. I think it's, look at this community gathering around one kid, and I think it's the type of school and community we have here.
His coach says it couldn't have happened to a more deserving young man. He's got a lot going for him and a great school, too.
Great story there. Speaking of sports, Braves Hall of Famer Tim Hudson is heading back to the diamond. His return to baseball includes a new title, pitching coach. He'll take up that position at Auburn University, where he played college ball. Maria Martin caught up with him on his new role.
When it was the end of your Major League Baseball career, did it ever cross your mind that you wanted to switch over and be a coach?
I had so many coaches along the way pour into my career and pour into my life, and I just feel like it was something that, you know, I wanted to do as well, and dabbled in, you know, announcing a little bit and dabbled in some of that stuff, and I just realized, man, you know what, I think I'm a Jersey locker room dugout guy.
You had a couple of stops in your career for Major League Baseball, but you spent the most time in Atlanta as a Brave. What's the biggest takeaway when you reminisce on your time in Atlanta?
A new record, 13 strikeouts for Tim Hudson.
I grew up a Braves fan. You know, I grew up, you know, watching Tom Glavine and John Smoltz and Greg Maddux, Bobby Cox, Chipper Jones, all these guys. Teammates with John Smoltz at the time. I was like, man, this is, you talking about kind of, you know, feeling a little nervous. You know, I probably looked at them like they had 3 heads for a while, just because you kind of in awe of some. Chipper was unbelievable to be. I mean, that's, you know, switch hitting third baseman all the time. I had a chance to go out west and win the World Series, but, you know, heart's always in Atlanta. I always feel like I'm that You know, I'm one of them, and always will be.
Talked about the World Series. Were you waiting to win one in your career? Was that just something you wanted to check off?
You know, that's an elusive thing for a lot of people. It's funny, you know, so there's a lot of guys who play their whole career and never even have a chance to play in a World Series.
But after that, you were like, I think I'm good.
Yeah. In fact, in 14, after we won, I remember we flew from Kansas City, was flying back to San Francisco, and I'm, you know, sitting there on the plane, and we're having a good time and celebrating. And I remember, in my mind, I retired like 7 times on that flight going back.
Oh, no.
And unretired. And I remember talking to my wife. I was like, I think I'm gonna retire. I can go out on top.
Well, last year's momentum is now carrying into 2020. The Braves are preparing to play their first full season at Cool Today Park in Northport, Florida. And according to our partners at the Atlanta Business Chronicle, the team has already sold more than 2,000 season tickets for spring training. The Braves will play at Cool Today Park for the next 30 years.
More than 100 cars broken into over the span of just a few days. What police are doing to try to curb these crimes.
I'm Francesca Emaker with the AC, and you'll soon see Atlanta's own Usher, or Ursher baby, on the big screen. I've got all the details for you on the star-studded movie. It's coming up in the AC.
Drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alert.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. So y'all just do what I say I'ma do. No, my movement ain't faded. You could assume what the doing was great.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed morning rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Jess.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text?
Car break-ins have become a big part of big city life all across America. And they, of course, end up costing you thousands and robbing you of your sense of security, and they just make you mad, too.
Yeah, we've been dealing with this in my community as well. We have seen a rash of them on the east side of town, with nearly 130 cars targeted in just the past 2 weeks. Natisha Lance spoke with police about what you can do to help curb this crime.
don't leave valuables in your car.
The message from Atlanta police is simple. Although they've increased patrols in the East Atlanta area, car break-ins were up by 49% last week since last year.
Another day in town living.
Chris Wiley woke up to find his front window broken in the top deck of his parking garage at the Station R apartment on Moreland. He says tools were stolen.
If they could break into your house or car, you know, what else are they capable of doing?
Police reports show more than a dozen others at the apartment were hit 5 days before Chris. They're part of a rash of cars broken into on MLK Day at 3 locations. Last week, APD released this surveillance video of 3 men they believe are responsible.
I think we need to be stricter about, you know, the crimes, even if they're petty crimes.
Atlanta police say they've made some arrests. Since many of the criminals were underage, oftentimes the jail won't take them. Instead, they're turned over to a guardian or parent, then back on the street.
It's frustrating when we're out there, we're making good arrests, we're putting a lot of effort into trying to crack down on these types of incidents.
Well, we've heard a lot of this. Some people think it's just better to leave the door unlocked to avoid having to pay for a new smashed window. Once again, Atlanta police says the most important thing you can do to make sure that you stay safe is to make sure all of your valuables are not in your car.
Well, things are going to get a little interesting in the weather department as we head into the next 24 hours, especially as we head into Wednesday night and Thursday. So just a few showers out there this evening. They've been heading right up 85, and now they've shifted a little bit to the east of Loganville. Coming into Athens right now, a little bit of light rain stretching up towards Alberton. So we're seeing that this evening, and that extends back into the southern plains where we have a system developing here, and that's going to continue to strengthen as we head into tomorrow, and a very deep upper level low is going to be moving in as well. So we're expecting to see some strong to severe storms starting late tomorrow in through Thursday. So nice night tonight out in Noonan with the breezes blowing. We'll see those winds picking up tomorrow as well. It'll be very mild and very breezy as we head in through the day on our Wednesday. And we'll see that area of low pressure move in, ushering in some cooler air as we head into our Tuesday and Wednesday here. We're definitely going to see that happen. And as that cold air advances, then we'll end up seeing that chance for severe as that cooler, denser air moves into that moist, unstable air. So let's go ahead and take a look at the current situation where that frontal system is moving to the east. And we're going to continue to see these temperatures stay very warm tonight. We're in the mid-60s right now here across the Atlanta area. We're at 58 in Gainesville and 60 in Blairsville at the moment. So temperatures on the unseasonably warm side, they'll stay there overnight as well. We'll be right around 60 degrees during the overnight hours, and that rain chances will be on the increase as we head into our Thursday. Flash flood watch is in place. National Weather Service expanded this as we head into our Wednesday night through Friday. That's when we'll see the really heavy rain move in. Wednesday night in through Thursday for much of the day, and the flash flood watch currently is in place until early on Friday with 3 to 4 inches of rain expected coming down on already saturated ground. So that's going to be the issue here. And you can see our future rain amounts as we head into late Thursday. We could easily see that 2.5 to 4 inches here where you see the red on the map, and then we're going to get more rain as we head into Saturday as well as into the beginning of next week on Monday and Tuesday. So showers overnight tonight. We'll have strong storms late on our Wednesday, and that continues overnight with waves of storms through the night and in through our Thursday as well. Storm Prediction Center giving us that chance for isolated severe storms with this marginal risk on our Wednesday, especially late in the day. And then as that storm approaches, we'll have an even better chance here. Right along I-85 and eastward, we have a slight chance, and that just increases the coverage a little bit. But anywhere across North Georgia on our Thursday morning and in throughout the day, we could see severe storms, some of which could spawn a tornado. Also, those gusty damaging winds could create some problems with trees coming down on saturated ground. The ground's going to be fairly weak where the roots are entrenched, so we could see some trees coming down. Getting into our Wednesday, notice most of the showers are to the north. They'll be light for most of the day, but then in the evening, in comes that very heavy rain. Some of these storms could be strong with those gusty winds. Overnight as well, it is going to be a busy night here in the 11Alive Storm Tracker Center with all these storms moving on through overnight, and that's why you need some way to be awakened if there's a severe warning in your neighborhood. So you see this QR code right here. You just aim your camera out on your phone, and it'll help you download the 11Alive app, and then you set up your notifications for severe weather, whether it's severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning. You just set those notifications, and that way you can be awakened if there is a severe weather situation developing in your neighborhood, because it's going to continue all night long and in through Thursday as well. You would think by Thursday at lunchtime we'd get a break, but nope, another very strong line will be moving in the early afternoon with some heavy rain as well as those gusty, destructive winds, and we can't rule out that potential for isolated tornadoes anywhere along this line as we head into Thursday evening. So this is really going to be a fairly long event in terms of the possibility to see severe storms starting tomorrow night in through Thursday. 60% chance of rain on Wednesday, with most of the heavy stuff coming in later in the evening. 100% chance on Thursday of seeing some very heavy rain and flooding as well, resulting from that heavy rain. We start to dry it out on Friday, but there may be a few flakes flying as the cool air moves in. We're not expecting any accumulation across North Georgia at this point, but we'll let you know if that changes. 30% chance of rain on Saturday. We dry it out on Sunday, and then more rain as we head into Monday and Tuesday of next week.
All right, folks, you know what time it is. You see on the screen, it is time for Tuesday's edition of the AC, and we are kicking off with the newly released trailer from the Georgia film movie called Burden. It's about the KKK. Take a look.
You're about the best thing that's ever happened to someone like me.
What you doing now?
Oh, you know, just spend some time.
I know Mike Burden. We used to hang out just like these two. And things are different now.
Why's that?
You're a Klansman.
See that? So Burden stars Atlanta singer Usher, Forrest Whitaker, Garrett Hudlin, and Andrea Riseborough. Now, this movie is set in a small town in South Carolina, and it's deeply rooted in racism. There, we see an unlikely friendship form when an African-American reverend, played by Whitaker, shelters a Klan member along with his girlfriend, Judy. Now, he basically helps him leave his violent past of being a Klansman, and together they heal the community. This is going to be a good film, and we're interviewing Usher in just a couple of weeks. The film comes out February 28th. And a huge congratulations to Tyler Perry, who just received some very exciting news regarding his film, A Fall from Grace, which was his first ever film to stream on Netflix.
Netflix, A Fall from Grace. In the first 7 days, 26 million people chose to watch it in the first 7 days. So from the bottom of my heart, I'm grateful, I'm thankful, I'm blown away by it, I'm inspired, I'm encouraged.
That is huge, guys. And if you want to see the full interview with myself and Tyler Perry that happened a couple of weeks ago, head on over to our 11Alive YouTube page and type in A Fall from Grace. And let us know what you thought of the movie as well.
Civil War battlefield will soon turn into a parking lot, pushed by one local group to keep a historic piece of land unchanged.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
Stop.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Jesse.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water, because I'm sugary.
Yeah,
right.
About that.
Well, reward would be
slimming down. Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
a little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Block, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Block on the Morning Rush.
everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these 2 hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibes. When you vibe with it, it's a good time. We don't worry about the hate, we just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can
A new parking lot is being built in Metro Atlanta. It's set to provide easier access to a new park, which is scheduled to open later this year.
But it comes at a big price. This sounds like a bad idea. The parking lot and public restrooms will be built over a portion of land that served as a battlefield during the Battle of Atlanta in 1864. This is something that should be held and something that should stay as it is for future generations.
And as you can imagine, one preservation group is very upset about this. 11Alive reporter Jay Plyburn explains.
This is an American history time capsule. This is the biggest intact piece of battlefield we have left. It's 83 acres here on the National Register of Historic Places. This is the anchor fort. It's a 7-gun anchor fort, and the cannons go in this fort. These have been around for more than 150 years. This is the trench line, built in June of 1864. It was the last defense line during the Civil War in Cobb County. It was the last barrier to the natural barrier, which is the Chattahoochee River. Once the troops crossed the river, then they were able to capture Atlanta. Cobb County, thankfully, has allocated money to open it as a park. That's the good news. The bad news is they're willing to sacrifice the historic site to put asphalt and sewage on it. And as you can see, this is very challenging land terrain. It's going to be a major engineering feat to try to put a parking lot and restrooms here, especially considering that 700 acres around this park is already flat. It's already parking lot ready. By putting asphalt here and restrooms, they're sacrificing historic land for infrastructure, and that degrades the site. The land is irreplaceable. Once it's gone, it's gone.
We spoke with Cobb County Commissioner Lisa Cupid, who says the parking lot and restrooms, they were approved more than a year ago following public hearings. So looks like it is coming.
Yeah, construction will go ahead as planned, and the park is scheduled to open in March.
It's too bad. To read more about the plan, you can check out the story in the Seen on TV section of our 11Alive app.
The very thing she worried would happen did. An update on the death-expecting mom and her fight to have a sign language interpreter in the delivery room.
Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on The Morning Rush on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie want to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue?
Auntie.
No.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know.
A new mother who is deaf says her fight to get a sign language interpreter in the delivery room with her is a reminder for everyone to be aggressive, asking for the medical support that they need. Her daughter has arrived now, 8 pounds 1 ounce, but only after a circumstance Cindy Templeton was worried might happen.
What if she had to have an emergency C-section?
She did have a C-section after a very long and difficult labor. Houston Healthcare offered video conference interpreters, but Cindy Templeton said it wasn't enough, especially as a first-time mom. The hospital said, though, if she wanted an in-person interpreter, she'd have to pay for it herself. Cindy told me today it makes a huge difference to have a person there with you to relay medical information, especially when it's a stressful and emotional time. It's an assurance and comfort you cannot get talking over a computer. Besides, she said, there's often bad connections or it's hard to see the laptop. Imagine trying to see that screen as you are giving birth. In the end, the hospital provided and paid for an in-person interpreter. The Federal Americans with Disabilities Act requires effective communication between patients and providers. Cindy says she's thankful it worked out. She said, I'm satisfied. They took care of me and my daughter.
All right, thanks, Cheryl. Young teenagers caught in human trafficking in Metro Atlanta. Tonight, only 11Alive has the exclusive details on efforts to protect these victims through a brand new program opening thousands of eyes to the problem.
Tonight, Caucus chaos in Iowa, results finally coming in hours after a reported technical glitch. The big fear tonight, can we expect the same problems when Georgia launches its new voting system?
11Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
We're going to begin tonight in Spalding County. Commissioner Don Hall-Baker is now in custody. He's behind bars following a SWAT situation at a home on Satella Court.
Chanu Hurd joins us live from outside the Spalding County Sheriff's Office tonight with what we know tonight, Chanu.
Yeah, guys, the Spalding County Sheriff's Office took Commissioner Hall-Baker into custody earlier today. This all started when the Sheriff's Office tried to serve an arrest warrant at the home. Now, this is video from the 11Alive Sky Tracker from the scene earlier today. The Sheriff's Office says shots were fired at them when they tried to serve the arrest warrant for simple assault, family violence, and disorderly conduct. Investigators say they had to use gas and negotiate for a peaceful surrender. At one point, it appears a SWAT vehicle crashed into the house. Now, this isn't the first time Hall-Baker has run into trouble with the law. In October of 2019, the Peachtree City Police arrested and charged him with DUI. Now, Hall-Baker's been on the board since 2015. Now, the Sheriff's Office did tell us tonight no one was hurt in this standoff. Guys.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11Alive Storm Trackers with you here tonight live on TV as well as on Facebook Live. If you would like to keep up with what's happening with the weather where we are talking about our upcoming severe weather threat, please join us in that conversation on my Facebook page, Chris Holcomb 11Alive. And we've got almost 300 people on right now, people wanting to know what's going to be happening with this weather. So let me break down what we have going on right now. That's why you see my phone right there. That's where I'm doing that Facebook Live. Here we are on radar. We had a couple showers that came through just a little bit earlier. They kind of moved through the Atlanta area. Very light rain that came through. Now that is all falling apart as it goes off to the east. But this is not the end of the rain, even though we're in a break right now. There's more rain that will be coming through. There's an actual cold front back here that has some showers and some thunderstorms developing with that. That comes through late tomorrow night, mainly on Thursday, when we're going to see even more rain and the potential for some thunderstorms. Here's a look at what we have going on, though, with the flood threat. We're going to see flood conditions possible here Wednesday through Friday morning with the amount of rain that we have predicted coming through our area. It could be 3 to 4 inches of rain possible on Wednesday into Thursday. So all of North Georgia, now Metro Atlanta is in this, and areas south of the city in this. Just know that that is possible for some minor to moderate flooding. So if you live in a flood-prone area, be aware of that. Late Wednesday in through the day on Thursday. Something else we're watching is that storm threat. Stay with us. We're going to break down the possibilities of strong storms and have an update on the timing in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, we'll see you in a couple of minutes, sir. You know, there's a new tool to fight human trafficking in Georgia because state officials say this is a growing problem.
Authorities estimate there are hundreds of thousands of victims in the U.S., but it's really hard to know for sure. Fewer than 1% of victims are identified and rescued, according to the Center for Public Policy Studies. And the average age of victims in Georgia is 14. Wow. One component to controlling trafficking victims is moving them against their will. It is why Georgia's Department of Transportation is now jumping in.
11Alive's Caitlin Ross sat down with the state commissioner exclusively.
Whether they're on a construction site or helping to change a tire, the men and women of the Georgia Department of Transportation are learning how to spot human trafficking when they're out on the job.
Taking almost the 4,000 employees of GDOT and taking their eyes and ears out to the street, if you will.
Commissioner Russell McMurray says GDOT employees see thousands of people on the roads every day.
We have 19 rest areas and about 7 visitor centers across the state, too.
GDOT is working with the Georgia Grace Commission, started by Governor Kemp, to address human trafficking. According to the Center for Public Policy, it's the fastest growing illegal industry in the country, bringing in $32 billion a year. The numbers are staggering. In Georgia, 7,200 men purchase sex from a minor every single month. And Atlanta has the highest number of trafficked Hispanic females in the nation. McMurray says all of his employees will learn how to help if they see a problem.
Our hero operators are truly heroes indeed, the men and women, the heroes, helping people in need on the side of the road. They will be handing out comment cards with also the Grace Commission information or the hotline numbers for anybody that may be involved in human trafficking.
McMurray says it's a problem no one in our state can ignore.
For so long, I don't think people were just very aware that this was such an epidemic.
Okay, so not only will workers be trained on how to recognize these problems, but they'll also learn tips on how to react if they are faced with a situation. First step here, do not intervene, do not get involved. Keep track of your observations, note any concerns out there, and record accurate information. Observe clues like the person is not allowed to interact with other people. If you see something suspicious, you can actually help out. Officials are now urging people to call 911 if it is an emergency. You can also text HELP or info to Be Free or call the Human Trafficking Hotline. You can see it right there on your screen, and download the See Something, Send Something app. We have all that information posted right now on our website at 11alive.com.
Turning now to the battle over Georgia's Senate seats, more and more people are reacting to our report that Senator David Perdue skipped a hearing on military housing and attended an event with his donors instead. This story has reached almost 15,000 people on our 11Alive Facebook page. Some, like Carrie Webb, expressed their frustration at Senator Perdue's approach. Others, like Joseph Lloyd, defended the senator's choice. And several people agree with Sally Harry about needing lawmaker term limits. Senate candidate John Ossoff talked about it today as well. He's one of 3 Democrats hoping to unseat Senator Perdue.
This conduct is egregiously unethical, and it is corrupt. Our U.S. Senator David Perdue has once again revealed that he is the caricature of Washington corruption.
You can watch Ossoff's full statement as well as our original story about Senator Perdue's inner circle of donors right now. Just head to 11alive.com.
All right, topping tonight's feed tonight, folks, the husband of Senator Kelly Loeffler is reportedly making this huge move to expand his economic empire. In addition to supporting his wife, Jeffrey Sprecher is the founder and CEO of Intercontinental Exchange, which owns the New York Stock Exchange. According to the Wall Street Journal, Sprecher is hoping to buy and take over eBay. Now, the online marketplace is currently valued at more than $28 billion. Developing right now, the CDC says to expect more cases of the coronavirus right here in the United States. Now, this comes as the confirmed global death toll raises now to 427 people, with more than 20,000 cases in mainland China. And tonight, we're hearing for the very first time from Delta Airlines CEO about this outbreak days after the airline temporarily stopped its flights to China.
I think the best thing we can all do now is let China address this issue and try to keep as much physical distance from the disease as we can.
The Atlanta Business Chamber hopes that bringing businesses to the city is an economic force. Its longtime head is stepping down. Hala Matamog has served as president and CEO since 2014, the first woman to do so. During her tenure, she oversaw explosive economic growth, bringing tens of thousands of jobs with companies like Mercedes-Benz, Starbucks, and Norfolk Southern. Our partners at the Atlanta Business Chronicle report she will stay in the position until a new leader is in place. Trending tonight, real estate brokers Redfin have named the hottest neighborhoods in ATL. They are Browns Mill Park in South Atlanta, Garden Hills just south of Buckhead, and Cobb County Centennial Lakes Development in Ackworth. Brokers pick them based on the average price of a house, the percentage of homes sold above list price, and how long it takes to sell a house. You can see more of the list. Just head to 11alive.com.
All right, turning our attention now to Capitol Hill. President Donald Trump is just beginning to address the nation tonight in his State of the Union, while under that cloud of impeachment. He's all but certain to be acquitted tomorrow afternoon, and today senators are taking to the floor to explain where they stand and why. NBC's Alice Barr is in Washington with the latest.
President Trump preparing for his State of the Union address tonight. At the same time, senators ready for a final vote tomorrow in his impeachment trial. Though he's all but certain to be acquitted, the president's team says he won't declare victory until after the vote.
You don't spike a football until the clock hits 00.
A new list of the president's State of the Union guests indicating what he's likely to talk about, from jobs to school choice, immigration to the recent killing of Iran's top military leader, Qasem Soleimani.
And you can expect to hear not just some of what he's been able to accomplish in the last few years, but a vision looking forward.
Looking past impeachment, though questions remain over whether any senators will cross party lines in the final verdict. They're continuing speeches today on the Senate floor explaining how they plan to vote.
Failure to convict will send a terrible signal that this president and any future president can commit crimes against the Constitution.
The president has done nothing to warrant this impeachment process. He must be acquitted.
Republicans hoping to hold the line with no defections voting to convict. They could be joined by a few Democrats who face a delicate choice in swing districts. Either way, President Trump will deliver his speech tonight, knowing the state of impeachment is nearly over.
Disaster at the Iowa caucuses. The results are coming in later than anyone thought they could. Next, how it all went wrong.
And check this out. We have Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb. He's live right now on Facebook, taking all of your weather questions. You can join the conversation right now on his Facebook page. We're going to catch up with him after the break.
All right, you also don't want to forget we are streaming on the 11Alive YouTube page. Subscribe and join the conversation down in the community section. More 11Alive news in prime time right after the break.
There's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these 2 hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibes. When you vibe with it, it's a good time. We don't worry about the hate, we just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see.
Results from yesterday's caucuses in Iowa have been coming in all evening after a long delay.
Yeah, so right now, 62% of the state's precincts are reporting. People last night were like, what is going on? Who won? Results from those precincts show former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg just barely ahead, leading Senator Bernie Sanders. But NBC News says the race is still just too close to call. So what went wrong with the results there in Iowa?
Yeah, 11Alive Jennifer Bellamy explains it all came down to an app.
The smartphone app that Democratic caucus chairs were using is made by a company called Shadow Inc. To record their votes, the caucus chairs had to download and install the apps on their phone, but some people weren't able to do that or waited until election day to download it. There were other reports that the app was confusing to use and people got no formal training, but that wasn't the underlying problem, well, according at least to the makers of the app. The company said a coding issue was the problem. They say the vote count was accurate, but the process to get the results from the app to election officials was what went wrong. Now, here in Georgia, the presidential primaries in March will be the first real test of something new for us as well, those new voting machines. But when compared to the Iowa voting app, it's like comparing apples and oranges. Next month, voters will use a touchscreen computer to vote, not too different than the old system. What is different is a printer will then put out a paper ballot that shows you your vote. You can check it to make sure it's right, then feed it into a scanner which records it and enters it into the system with all the other votes. The printed ballots are kept inside the voting machine. The whole process set up to provide voters with a printout that shows their vote so they can make sure it's correct before it's officially recorded.
Hey everybody, I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11Alive Storm Trackers. You see me here with my phone. I'm talking to a lot of folks on Facebook Live right now. Folks asking about the weather and the severe weather threat that we have coming up this week. Amanda's asking about being in a mobile home. If it's going to be safe on Wednesday night to be in a mobile home. I think the tornado risk on Wednesday night will be on the low end, but Thursday afternoon, we have a chance for isolated tornadoes. I don't think it's going to be widespread, but if you live in a mobile home with this type of system that's moving our way, you have to know what your plan is now of what you would do if bad weather started coming your way. Vicki Reese says, here comes the storms. We have other comments from Guy Doc Stater says, watching both. He's watching Facebook Live and also watching the State of the Union address and trying to watch on the ATL as well. So here's what we have going on. No rain here in Atlanta, but we had some showers that came through a little bit earlier. I want to take you over to the east. This is what is left. Just a couple of spotty light showers over in Athens. Earlier, we had a few that came through Atlanta. Really didn't dump a lot of rain, just kind of spotted a few people's windshields and made the roads and parking lots a little bit damp. That is now moving on off to the east. But we're in a break right now, but the rain isn't over. We have more rain out to the west that's going to start coming in. This is the actual cold front that's well out to the west, and along that front and ahead of it, we have this moisture that's building in, and that's what's going to give us the showers, scattered showers for tomorrow, and then the storm risk comes in late Wednesday and then through the day on Thursday. So let me break that down for you. Let me show you what we're watching out there on the bigger picture. Here's a look again at that flash flood watch. If you'll recall last night, we were talking about a flood watch in effect for only the North Georgia counties, but today they made that a flash flood watch, and they extended that to include Metro Atlanta areas over to the east toward Athens, and also much of the area south of I-20. We could see through Wednesday and Thursday 3 to 4 inches of rain possible, and maybe even some higher amounts in some localized areas that could cause minor to moderate flooding in some areas. So if you live in a flood-prone area, or if your house has issues whenever we have a lot of rain, like maybe a leaky basement or something, be prepared. This is one of those situations where we're going to see a lot of rain move in. We also have the potential for severe weather. Tomorrow, take a look at this. The level 2 risk is mostly in Mississippi and Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, and parts of Louisiana. But then the level 1 or marginal risk comes into Atlanta tomorrow, where we can see some damaging winds and some isolated storms, maybe an isolated tornado, and flash flooding is going to be the main issue with that. Then into Thursday, we still have a marginal risk here in Atlanta, but then the slight risk is over just to the east of us, where we can see that better chance for some stronger storms that'll move through that could include damaging wind gusts, isolated tornadoes, and still that heavy rainfall. So let me walk you through the timing. Tonight, we're looking okay. Just a couple little spotty showers. In the morning, better chance for showers up in North Georgia. A few of those here around Atlanta throughout the mid-morning hours until lunchtime. And then on Wednesday, later, that's when we see the heavier rain come in. And then through the night Wednesday into early Thursday, scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. But then in the afternoon, this is the main part of that system coming through. It's this line that has the potential for those isolated tornadoes and the damaging wind. And then everything moves out. It gets cold Friday, and look at that. On the backside, maybe even a couple of snow flurries Friday morning up in far north Georgia. So it's still going to be warm tomorrow. High temperatures will be up to around 70 degrees. And then as we head into Thursday, that's that main storm risk, a high of 66. Cooler Friday, 20% chance for a shower, maybe a flurry up in North Georgia. Saturday, another system with some light rain, maybe even a flurry in North Georgia again. Dry Sunday, and then back to a 30 to 40% chance for showers Monday and Tuesday with those high temperatures back into the 60s.
Busy next few days. Thanks a lot, Chris. You know, a lot of students dread them, and many teachers, they're really not crazy about them either. Tonight, there are a lot of people applauding the proposal by Governor Brian Kemp to slash the number of required standardized tests in Georgia schools. 11Alive Joe Hinkey spoke with educators about the governor's proposal.
When you look at the big picture, it's clear Georgia simply tests too much.
Surrounded by educators and lawmakers, Governor Brian Kemp today announced he wants to throw out 5 high-stakes tests required in Georgia schools. Currently, from 3rd grade through 12th grade, students in Georgia are required to take 24 standardized tests across a variety of subjects. The federal government requires 17 tests. By getting rid of a 5th grade social studies test and 4 tests at the high school level, Georgia students would now need to only take 19 tests between 3rd and 12th grade.
For students, these tests may not accurately reflect their personal progress. For teachers, there's substantial burdens on top of an already substantial workload.
Well, I woke up with a smile when I read it.
Berdalia Turner, president of the Atlanta Federation of Teachers, says teachers statewide have been asking for this. And she also believes the test scores do not reflect a student's achievements and eat up valuable time teachers could be using to assist students.
Tests do not tell us everything that we need to know, but we are so happy that the governor is moving in this direction, because the public has a tendency to think that, oh, the test scores are low, not understanding who made that test, what that test measures.
The governor today also proposed giving districts more flexibility in setting test dates to provide more time for teaching.
A state assessment only measures one moment, one time, one day, and how the student is performing at that moment.
Newton County Superintendent Samantha Fury said over the years the state moved from no standardized testing to the other extreme, and she says along the way the art of teaching was lost.
It's nice to see that we're swinging back to the center, and perhaps our teachers will be able to teach and our students will love coming to school.
All right, so among the testing changes here, the governor also announcing that he wants to remove certain requirements in Georgia, milestones testing, and that would keep Georgia right in line with federal requirements, but would again be aimed to reduce testing time and increase instruction time. So what do you think about this proposed testing change? Join the conversation in the comments section of our 11Alive Facebook page.
Who is spying in your most private moments these days? Criminals are getting creative, so we're getting tips on how to spot hidden cameras next.
Go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots, and of course I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these 2 hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibes. When you vibe with it, it's a good time. We don't worry about the hate, we just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hints. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun. And they're convenient.
But
But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time.
People who want to invade your privacy in your most private moments, well, they have the technology to do it. And the chances of you ever noticing is really slim, and that is scary in itself. So we reported on several cases of hidden cameras in some of Atlanta's busiest restaurants and public spaces. So how do you spot something that shouldn't be in your changing room or in the bathroom stalls? Nicole Zymek with our sister station in Phoenix learned from an expert, and she's sharing those tips with us and you tonight.
Cameras can fit in anything. Can you spot the camera on this phone charger? It's here.
And of course, a lot of people are victimized. They may not even know it.
Lonnie Dworkin is a forensic investigator. He sees firsthand how criminals misuse hidden cameras and where they hide them.
Dressing rooms, public bathrooms, that's most of what I've found. They're the easiest to target.
And not always obvious. So would you be able to spot the camera in a dressing room, in a bathroom? We're putting me to the test. Kiss Me Kate Boutique in Phoenix allowing us in for this experiment, letting our investigator set up cameras.
We have a variety of very small cameras.
Without me knowing where.
Okay, so inside the dressing room right now, and I'm looking around, and this is standard dressing room, so you know that they aren't very big.
You wouldn't think there'd be many places to hide a camera.
Nothing on the walls. I'm not seeing anything on these hooks.
I don't see any cameras, but the cameras see me.
Nothing there.
In fact, I look right at one of the hidden cameras and still miss it. So where are they? The first camera is behind the small black sign. I thought it was just decoration.
And it's also located in a space that most people don't look at. When you walk into a dressing room, you don't look up and around. You're looking at the mirror and you want to try the clothes on.
Right. The second camera?
Would you like a hint?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you my camera.
Okay, and then I can see it based on.
Yes.
Well, okay, so it's going from down. And I see, okay, it's got to be in that basket.
Yes.
Recording up at me. An intrusive angle for anyone changing. What about inside a bathroom? We've seen headlines about hidden cameras in public bathrooms.
It's alive. Wait for it to come online here. Here we go.
All right, so here we are inside a public bathroom. Unfortunately, there are very often times hidden cameras in public bathrooms like this.
Meanwhile, Lonnie is watching me on his phone.
And then, as you can see, just at first glance, I'm not seeing anything except for this right here. I feel like that just might be a scent diffuser.
I linger on the air freshener, but I'm not sure, and I can't really tell.
Okay, so I'm seeing the angle here, and I've clearly missed something very obvious. Is it up here? Is it that one?
Yeah.
The one that I thought was the sensor, or I thought it was a scent thing. Well, Lonnie, that is unsettling. What's the takeaway?
Generally, they're looking for rare angles, which might be from the floor up or from high down. So I would look for things around the edges of the stall, any equipment that doesn't belong on the floor.
Hey, we just learned a lot right there. Yeah. But the big takeaway here is that you can never be too aware of what's happening around you.
All right, straight ahead, a father loses his son and starts looking for answers. So why do some officers give medical aid to suspects they've shot while others just stand around and wait? Our exclusive Reveal investigation uncovers why some go beyond the call of duty.
You're like, well, I got leftovers. I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie!
No.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm gonna be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alerts.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, my movement ain't faded. You could assume what the doing was great.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Chester.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscast not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water, because I'm sugary. Yeah, right.
About that.
Reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes.
right? Yeah,
Okay.
a little water in my
yes.
cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not gonna be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Welcome to the Reveal on Primetime. I'm Chief Investigator Brendan Keith. The controversy over officer-involved shootings usually focuses on whether the use of force was justified. But a Georgia father is now on a mission to answer another question. Why do some officers heroically try to save the suspects they've shot, while others simply wait for an ambulance?
Shut the vehicle off, put your hands outside the window. I'm not gonna ask you again.
Hands up! Less than 1 minute is all it took.
I'm gonna put it.
Don't! Accused of waving a gun at people. Seconds later, he fires it. Open your door.
the teen runs away.
Let me see your hands!
The officer fires.
When the gunfire stops, some officers go above and beyond the call.
He's dead, dude. Oh, we still gotta try him. Hold on him, hold on him, hold on him.
Pulling medic duty right after pulling the trigger.
The video showing as officers start CPR until medics arrive.
I got one.
Including right here in Atlanta, where officers now carry tourniquets to save each other and the suspects they've just shot.
Hey, stay with me, stay with me. He's breathing, he's breathing.
Sometimes it truly is above and beyond the call of duty, a call that some departments don't make and some officers don't answer.
Shots fired, shots fired.
It is unclear how much, if any, aid is given to Franklin in the minutes following the shooting.
Is he alive?
You don't see any officers even bend in his direction until almost 2 full minutes later.
I haven't touched him yet.
Sometimes it's a life sentence versus a death sentence.
You don't belong here. You shouldn't be here.
Blake Peacock was shot by a sheriff's deputy in Bleckley County, Georgia.
They didn't render any aid whatsoever after they shot him.
Central shots fired. Have EMS rolling.
Sheriff's deputies called for an ambulance within seconds.
Central shots fired. Have EMS rolling.
But then stood over Blake Peacock as he gasped for air, face down.
Like they shot a deer. They don't even turn him over. He fell on his face. They didn't care at that point.
They called EMS right away. They called for an ambulance. What should they have done next that they didn't do?
Now this is an injured human being. I think they should have tried to use any form of life-saving training that they had to save my son.
The second deputy rushed to his patrol car, not to get a trauma kit, but yellow police tape. While Blake was taking his last breaths, police were taping off the rural field without a single bystander in sight.
You knew EMS was on the way. Why didn't you try to save his life?
When the ambulance finally arrived, Blake still had a slight pulse, but it was too late. So Blake's parents sued the deputies for deliberate indifference.
The judge ruled that they have no obligation to render first aid.
Legally, officers fulfill all requirements to help the moment they call for an ambulance.
Central shots fired. Have EMS rolling.
We need to remember there's a heart on the other side of the badge that's having to use force, and it changes their lives forever.
Attorney and author Lance LaRusso represents police officers involved in shootings.
It's the good people behind the badges that are trying to give aid when they can.
I got one.
But if you make that a law that they are required to, then we're going to get into these second-guessing situations where the officer tactically wasn't able to, and they could be facing criminal liability. That's not appropriate.
Edwin Peacock.
Ed Peacock is now on a mission, starting with his hometown and the city council in Cochran, Georgia.
That there is currently no federal law or peace officer policy that requires any U.S. lawman to render any physical life-saving aid to an American citizen they shoot using deadly force.
Did you have any luck with the city council?
And right before Christmas, I think Blake and our family got a Christmas present. They actually changed their policies and procedures. Officers should immediately provide any necessary medical assistance to the subject to the degree to which they are trained. And I'm hoping that'll be the ripple in the pond. To go across the whole country. Y'all rest in peace.
Blake's dad is now taking the issue to the Georgia General Assembly, looking to legally require officers to provide first aid after a shooting. Atlanta police do have a requirement in the standard operating procedures to provide medical aid in a timely manner after a use of deadly force, when it's safe for officers to do so. But it really depends on the culture of each police department. You can see more in-depth investigations like this one by going to our website, 11alive.com. And don't forget to watch The Reveal, the only local investigative show in the nation, Sundays at 6 on our sister station, 11 Alive.
Well, we are mainly dry out there right now. There are still some roads that are damp from just some of the light rain that came through just a little bit earlier. Now the rain is down to the south. You can see a little bit of this light rain that's down near Pike in Lamar County, near the Zebulon area, just north of Thomaston. A little bit right there at Heard in Meriwether County, just a little bit of light rain there. Also, if you go over toward the east at Putnam County near Eatonton, and then a little more out to the west, closer to the Georgia state line, a couple of showers there. Also light stuff around Elberton. But as we put this into motion, you can see how that rain has pretty much been moving over toward the east and falling apart as it goes to the east. So really for the overnight hours, we're not going to see a lot more in the form of rain here in the metro area, but then toward morning, another round of showers is going to start moving our way. In fact, you can see a lot of this moisture in association with this out to the west. The front is still well out to the west, so a lot of this moisture is going to be feeding in off and on until the actual cold front comes through, and that's what's going to bring us the potential for storms late Wednesday night and then through the day on Thursday. So here's what we're watching out there right now. It's been very mild. Our high temperature today, almost 70. We hit 69 degrees this afternoon. Yesterday we tied the record. Today we did not. The record is 78, so we were well below that at 69, but our average for this time of year is 54. So we still have this very warm, mild air mass that's sitting on top of us right now. Colder air bottled up here to the north. So as we are in this warm air mass, we're going to see those showers. And then as these air masses kind of clash here from late Thursday into Friday, as the colder air tries to move in by Friday, it's that clash of those air masses that'll give us that storm threat on Thursday. And then as the cold air rushes in on Friday, a little bit of lingering moisture might cause a couple of snow flurries possible up in far north Georgia. Stays cool through the weekend, but then we get mild again going into next week with additional showers that'll start moving our way too. Stay with us. We're going to break down that timeline here and the best time frame that you could see some of those stronger storms.
Put down the phone or face a tougher fine. One of Georgia's lawmakers wants to up the penalties for people who violate the hands-free law. Right now, the hands-free law calls for a $50 fine the first time a driver is caught using their phone, and the maximum fine for the second offense is $100. But State Representative John Carson wants to throw out the warning and double the fines right out the gate, meaning if this passes, fines could reach $300 on the third offense. A State House committee heard testimony on the new bill yesterday, but put off a decision until next week.
All right, topping our speed feed tonight, a push to crack down on e-scooters right here in the state of Georgia. The Georgia Senate unanimously approved Bill 159. It allows local authorities to regulate scooters within their jurisdiction and repeal conflicting laws. Now, we've seen a backlash against scooters since they took over Atlanta, with several cities banning them and others approving tougher restrictions. The proposal now heads to the Georgia House. A second person is now behind bars for a murder at a Cobb County gas station. Police arrested Charlie Geddes today, and investigators say he's connected to the murder of 68-year-old Jesse Turner. Turner was killed at a shooting at a BP gas station. This is right off of Panthersville Road in October. Two other men are facing charges for this crime. Antonio Crowley already turned himself in, but police are still looking for Tyler Anderson. If you see him, call police immediately. Well, the family of a truck driver killed in that fiery crash on Interstate 85 is remembering him with an online tribute. Jonas Werku was one of two people killed in Saturday's crash in Gwinnett County near Jimmy Carter Boulevard. His family has now set up a GoFundMe site, and they describe Werku as a beloved father, wonderful husband, and a rock to his family. Emerald Lynn also died in that crash. Police say Werku was driving a semi-truck hauling fuel when it slammed into Lynn's car. The tanker and the car both caught fire. The road was so badly damaged, crews had to shut it down for at least 10 hours to repair those lanes.
It's the shot everyone is talking about. Yesterday, we told you about Pace Academy basketball team manager Daniel Lucky living up to his name. He was given the opportunity to suit up for senior night, and he did this. Had the crowd going wild. He says the moment was like a dream.
I just wanted a way to reward him for just being so diligent and being so faithful to our program. And so I thought this would be a great way to reward him.
I never mentioned it, but that's what you're hoping for. You know, you're sitting there silently always thinking, man, it'd be cool if I could dress for one game. This crazy moment of, I can't believe that just happened. Like, I'm getting mobbed by all these people, and I'm just thinking just how grateful I am.
Even us as coaches, we were excited, and we kind of jumped up, and our guys on the bench, they just ran out on the floor, and they were so happy for him.
You know, I like to think of it like that's me. I'm on that video. I did that thing. But I think what resonates about this whole video is not, you know, the kid made a great move, the kid made the shot. I think it's look at this community gathering around one kid. And I think it's the type of school and community we have here.
His coach says it couldn't have happened to a more deserving young man.
A Civil War battlefield will soon turn into a parking lot. The push by one local group to keep the historic piece of land unchanged.
I'm Francesca Emaker with the AC, and you'll soon see Atlanta's own Usher, or Usher baby, on the big screen. I've got all the details for you on the star-studded movie that's coming up in the AC. Created by the artist Hints. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're convenient.
But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
Your voice, it is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together, our voices grow. Together, we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hey,
and they
cliffhangers.
would, you know, they would wait the next week. You were, oh, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched. Known as the cradle of the civil rights movement,
Parking lot is being built in Metro Atlanta. It will provide easier access to a new park, which is scheduled to open later this year. But it comes at a price. The parking lot and public restrooms will be built over a portion of land that served as a battlefield during the Civil War. It has one preservation group very upset tonight. 11Alive reporter Jay Plyburn has more.
This is an American history time capsule. This is the biggest intact piece of battlefield we have left. It's 83 acres here on the National Register of Historic Places. This is the anchor fort. It's a 7-gun anchor fort, and the cannons go in this fort. These have been around for more than 150 years. This is the trench line, built in June of 1864. It was the last defense line during the Civil War in Cobb County. It was the last barrier to the natural barrier, which is the Chattahoochee River. Once the troops crossed the river, then they were able to capture Atlanta. Cobb County, thankfully, has allocated money to open it as a park. That's the good news. The bad news is they're willing to sacrifice the historic site to put asphalt and sewage on it. As you can see, this is very challenging land terrain. It's going to be a major engineering feat to try to put a parking lot and restrooms here, especially considering that 700 acres around this park is already flat. It's already parking lot ready. By putting asphalt here and restrooms, they're sacrificing historic land for infrastructure, and that degrades the site. The land is irreplaceable. Once it's gone, it's gone.
So we talked to Cobb County Commissioner Lisa Cupid, who says the parking lot and restrooms were approved more than a year ago following public hearings. Construction will go ahead as planned, and the park is scheduled to open in March.
We had a few light showers that moved through our area a little bit earlier today, just kind of dampened the parking lots, dampened the roads a little bit, and kind of just left a few drops on many windshields. And now what's left is down to the south through parts of Butts County, Pike, Lamar County getting in on some of this, and into Newton County, where we have just a couple of light showers. And this is all that came through earlier, and it really wasn't that impressive. But I want you to know that's not all that's going to be moving through our area. We have plenty of moisture here up ahead of a front that's still well out to the west, and we're going to see more of this moisture feeding in, giving us scattered showers tomorrow. Then just ahead of the front on Wednesday night, overnight into Thursday, and then as the front actually comes through on Thursday afternoon, that's where we're going to see our best chance for rain and even that potential for some strong thunderstorms that'll be moving through. Let me talk first about the flood threat. We have a flood watch that's in effect for North Georgia, Metro Atlanta, areas east of the city, and also south and west of the city. All these counties that you see in green, that's where we have a flash flood watch in effect. This goes into effect Wednesday around 6 in the afternoon, and it'll be in effect until Friday morning. We have flooding possible in these areas with heavy rain Wednesday and Thursday, where 3 to 4 inches of rain is possible on average. There may even be some localized areas that pick up more rain. That could cause some minor to moderate flooding. So here's a look at the rain totals. This is through noon on Wednesday. Less than a ½ inch here, with some higher amounts up in North Georgia. So the Wednesday rain amounts aren't that impressive early. Then as we get through Thursday morning, you can see our rain totals here, a ½ inch to 1.5 inches, but some higher amounts north and southwest. And then through the day here on Thursday, as this rain moves through, we start seeing the red color. That's indicating 2.5 to 4 inches of rain. And we're still not finished with this through Thursday afternoon. Even some yellows here indicating more than 4 inches, maybe 4 to 5.5 inches of rain coming through. And there could be some localized areas that pick up even more. So it all depends where the main axis of heavy rain comes through to give us those higher amounts. But it really looks like all of us are going to see some significant rain. That's why we have that flood watch in effect. Now, what about the severe weather risk? The highest risk for tomorrow is going to be out to the west. The yellow color is a slight risk, or level 2 of 5 for Alabama, Mississippi, parts of Louisiana, and the Florida Panhandle. We have the marginal risk that comes into our area. That's level 1 of 5, meaning the potential for isolated stronger storms with damaging winds, flash flooding a possibility, and isolated tornadoes are a possibility as well. And then on Thursday, the level 2 risk goes over to the east. We'll still be in a level 1 risk here. Still for that chance of isolated strong storms with tornadoes possible, damaging winds, and heavy rainfall. Those are the main threats we're going to be dealing with. Here's the timeline. Scattered showers in the morning, mainly Atlanta northward, kind of light stuff. And then once we get into the afternoon, not much going on. But then late Wednesday, that's when we see these bands of heavier rain coming through. And the front still isn't in here yet. Thursday morning, bands of heavy rain. And then it's going to be after lunch on Thursday, around lunchtime and after, when that main line comes through. That's the line that's going to have that storm threat with it. And then the moisture moves out late on Thursday, Friday morning, maybe even a couple of flurries up in parts of North Georgia as the cold air comes in. So mild air Wednesday and Thursday with that scattered showers Wednesday. Best chance for storms overnight Wednesday into Thursday. Friday, low rain chance. Then Saturday, 30% chance for a shower, maybe mixing in with the flurry in North Georgia. Sunday, dry, and then low rain chances, 30 to 40% for Monday and Tuesday.
All right, folks, you know what time it is. You see on the screen, it is time for Tuesday's edition of the AC. And we are kicking off with the newly released trailer from the Georgia film movie called Burden. It's about the KKK. Take a look.
You're about the best thing that's ever happened to someone like me. doing with him?
Oh, you know, just spend some time.
I know Mike Burton. We used to hang out just like these two. And things are different now.
Why's that?
We're Klansmen.
See that? So Burton stars Atlanta singer Usher, Forrest Whitaker, Garrett Hudlin, and Andrea Riseborough. Now, this movie is set in a small town in South Carolina, and it's deeply rooted in racism. There, we see an unlikely friendship form when an African-American reverend, played by Whitaker, shelters a Klan member along with his girlfriend, Judy. Now, he basically helps him leave his violent past of being a Klansman, and together they heal the community. This is going to be a good film, and we're interviewing Usher in just a couple of weeks. The film comes out February 28th. And a huge congratulations to Tyler Perry, who just received some very exciting news regarding his film, A Fall from Grace, which was his first ever film to stream on Netflix.
Netflix, A Fall from Grace. In the first 7 days, 26 million people chose to watch it in the first 7 days. So from the bottom of my heart, I'm grateful, I'm thankful, I'm blown away by it, I'm inspired, I'm encouraged.
That is huge, guys. And if you want to see the full interview with myself and Tyler Perry that happened a couple of weeks ago, head on over to our 11Alive YouTube page and type in A Fall from Grace. And let us know what you thought of the movie as well.
Up next, things are looking bright for the future of Georgia's film production. We'll tell you why next.
There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
your voice? It is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together, our voices grow. Together, we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hey,
and they
cliffhangers.
would, you know, they would wait the next week. You were, oh, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions, and who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man, Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film, Hawks' Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on the Morning Rush on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and
more than 31 television and film projects are currently being filmed in Georgia, one down the street from our house. I think it's the Winter Soldier series. Despite last year's controversial abortion law that is stalled in court right now, business leaders say the state's film industry continues to thrive.
It really is a critical asset to our state and to the city to be,
be a leader in the film industry.
The Rotary Club of Atlanta hosted a panel discussion highlighting the benefits of continuing to grow the state's film industry, but just how much it helps Georgia, that's a big topic of debate. So there was a recent state audit that says the benefit of the film industry has been, quote, overstated by billions of dollars. The state claimed production brought 92,000 jobs in 2016, but the audit found that number was about 29,000 jobs gained and 19,000 others lost.
Get ready for the rain. More of it coming our way. Scattered stuff early tomorrow, and then a better chance for storms late Wednesday through the day on Thursday. That'll end late afternoon, and then it gets colder Friday as we clear out. Saturday, a little bit of moisture, only a 30% chance for that. Dry Sunday, more rain chances next week.
All right. Stick around. Primetime rolls on at 10 p.m. Ron and I will see you on 11Alive at 11 on Up Late.
Discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, my movement ain't faded. You could assume it.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed.
In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Jess.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning.
I'm learning the taste of water because I'm sugary.
Okay,
Right.
About that.
Reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, a little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin. Even more beautiful skin, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta.
11Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
A SWAT situation in a suburban neighborhood ends with a county commissioner behind bars. What we know tonight about the arrest in Spalding County.
And we're tracking the potential for some severe weather. Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb has the hour-by-hour timeline on the threat.
On this Tuesday night, happening right now, a live look from Washington, D.C. President Trump, his State of the Union. He has introduced more people tonight in the audience than any other chief executive during State of the Union. This is where Atlanta speaks, as you know, and we are listening to you and what you want to know about President Trump's speech.
Ryan Kruger has a look at what voters say are the two most important issues, Ryan.
Yeah, Aisha and Jeff, we have data going back 16 years. Since the 2004 State of the Union, Google Trends showing that the two most searched issues every single year, jobs and taxes, and they're both taking center stage tonight. Now, President Trump has touted his third State of the Union as a victory lap in what he calls the Great American Comeback. He said the State of the Union stronger right now than at any time in history. Now, while he touched on several key topics, he focused a great deal at the beginning of his speech on those top two issues for voters.
From the instant I took office, I moved rapidly to revive the U.S. economy, slashing a record number of job-killing regulations, enacting historic and record-setting tax cuts, and fighting for fair and reciprocal trade agreements.
And the president also highlighted new trade deals that he has signed within the last week, one with Mexico, one with China, another with Mexico and Canada. Now, the president says those deals will help create more than 100,000 new jobs.
All right, thanks, Ryan. So ahead at 11 on 11 Alive for Up Late, our political analyst, Andrea Gillespie, explains how Democrats can counter the comments President Trump made about the economy. That is coming up at 11 on 11 Alive. Hey, switching gears now, trying to keep you and your family safe. We're talking about some severe weather that's expected to roll in tomorrow night.
And our chief meteorologist, Chris Holcomb, is here. He's tracking the possibility of some heavy rain on the very latest models, Chris.
And so far, we've seen only light stuff ahead, really well ahead of the next system that's going to be pushing our way. And we've had a few light showers here. Nothing much going on right now in Atlanta. What is left of those light showers is down to the south and east of us for our viewers in parts of Butts County, Pike and Lamar counties, stretching on up into parts of Newton County, Jasper County, Putnam County, seeing some of this as well. Morgan County, also into Greene County near Lake Oconee, just a couple of light showers. Some of these came through Atlanta earlier, really didn't give us a lot of rain, but there's more coming. We have this moisture feeding in from the Gulf well ahead of this front that's well out to the west. As that moves our way, we're going to see our rain chances increasing as well as our storm risk as well. We do have a flash flood watch in effect for all of North Georgia, metro Atlanta, areas east of the city, and also south and west of the city. We're going to see some significant rain coming in here. We're talking 3 to 4 inches of rain possible. That could cause minor to moderate flooding, mainly Wednesday night in through the day on Thursday. And that's also when we have that severe weather threat. We'll break down that timing for you in just a few minutes.
Okay, Chris, thank you. A county commissioner in custody tonight following a SWAT standoff inside a home.
11 Alive, Shanu Hurt joins us tonight live outside the Spalding County Sheriff's Office with the latest.
Yeah, guys, the Spalding County Sheriff's Office took Commissioner Don Hawbaker into custody earlier today. Investigators say this all started when deputies tried to serve an arrest warrant at a home on Satilla Court. Now, this is video of the scene from the 11 Alive Sky Tracker earlier today. Again, from the scene, the Sheriff's Office says shots were fired at them when they tried to serve the warrant for simple assault for family violence and disorderly conduct. Now, investigators say they had to use gas and negotiate for a peaceful surrender. At one point, it appears a SWAT vehicle crashed into the house. Now, Hawbaker has run into trouble with the law before. In October of 2019, Peachtree City Police arrested and charged him with DUI. Now, Hawbaker's been on the board since 2015. The Sheriff's Office tells us no one was hurt in today's standoff.
All right, Chanu, thank you. Well, there is a new tool in the fight to stop human trafficking here in Georgia. The state says it's a growing problem. Human trafficking was still legal in the United States 20 years ago. Authorities estimate there are hundreds of thousands of victims in the U.S., but it's really hard to know for sure. That's because fewer than 1% of victims are identified and rescued, according to the Center for Public Policy Studies. And the average age of the victim in Georgia is 14. But now, the fight to end human trafficking is getting a huge boost from Georgia's Department of Transportation. Caitlin Ross shows us how this is going to help in an exclusive interview tonight when she spoke to the state commissioner.
Whether they're on a construction site or helping to change a tire, the men and women of the Georgia Department of Transportation are learning how to spot human trafficking when they're out on the job.
Taking almost the 4,000 employees of GDOT and taking their eyes and ears out to the street, if you will.
Commissioner Russell McMurray says GDOT employees see thousands of people on the roads every day.
We have 19 rest areas and about 7 visitor centers across the state, too.
GDOT is working with the Georgia Grace Commission, started by Governor Kemp, to address human trafficking. According to the Center for Public Policy, it's the fastest growing illegal industry in the country, bringing in $32 billion a year. The numbers are staggering. In Georgia, 7,200 men purchase sex from a minor every single month. And Atlanta has the highest number of trafficked Hispanic females in the nation. McMurray says all of his employees will learn how to help if they see a problem.
Our hero operators are truly heroes indeed, the men and women, the heroes, helping people in need on the side of the road. They will be handing out comment cards with also the Grace Commission information or the hotline numbers for anybody that may be involved in human trafficking.
McMurray says it's a problem no one in our state can ignore.
For so long, I don't think people were just very aware that this was such an epidemic.
A second person now in custody for a murder at a DeKalb County gas station. Police arrested Charlie Geddes today. Investigators say he is connected to the murder of 68-year-old Jesse Turner. Turner was killed in a shooting at the BP gas station off Panthersville Road that happened in October. 2 other men are now facing charges for the crime. Antonio Crowley already turned himself in. Police are still looking for Tyler Anderson. If you see him, you're asked to call Atlanta Police.
The family of a truck driver killed in a fiery crash on I-85 is remembering him with an online tribute. Jonas Werku was one of 2 people killed in Saturday's crash in Gwinnett County near Jimmy Carter Boulevard. His family set up a GoFundMe. They described Werku as a beloved father, wonderful husband, and a rock to his family. Emerald Lynn also died in the crash. Police say Werku was driving a semi hauling fuel when it crashed into Lynn's car. The tanker and car both caught fire, shutting down part of I-85 for 10 hours.
Developing now, the CDC says to expect more cases of coronavirus in the United States. Right now, we have 11 confirmed cases. This comes as the confirmed global death toll now rising to 490, with more than 24,000 cases in mainland China. And today, we are hearing for the first time from Delta Airlines CEO about the outbreak, days after the airline temporarily stopped its flights to China.
I think the best thing we can all do now is let China address this issue and try to keep as much physical distance from the disease as we can.
All right, so a lot of students dread them. Parents, I know you do too, and many teachers, they're not crazy about them either. So there are a lot of people applauding a proposal to slash the number of required standardized tests in Georgia schools. Joe Hankey talked to educators about the governor's proposal.
When you look at the big picture, it's clear Georgia simply tests too much.
Surrounded by educators and lawmakers, Governor Brian Kemp today announced he wants to throw out 5 high-stakes tests required in Georgia schools. Currently, from 3rd grade through 12th grade, students in Georgia are required to take 24 standardized tests across a variety of subjects. The federal government requires 17 tests. By getting rid of a 5th grade social studies test and 4 tests at the high school level, Georgia students would now need to only take 19 tests between 3rd and 12th grade.
For students, these tests may not accurately reflect their personal progress. For teachers, there's substantial burdens on top of an already substantial workload.
Well, I woke up with a smile when I read it.
Virgilia Turner, president of the Atlanta Federation of Teachers, says teachers statewide have been asking for this. And she also believes the test scores do not reflect a student's achievements and eat up valuable time teachers could be using to assist students.
Tests do not tell us everything that we need to know, but we are so happy that the governor is moving in this direction, because the public has a tendency to think that, oh, the test scores are low, not understanding who made that test, what that test measures.
The governor today also proposed giving districts more flexibility in setting test dates to provide more time for teaching.
A state assessment only measures one moment, one time, one day, and how the student is performing at that moment.
Newton County Superintendent Samantha Fury said over the years the state moved from no standardized testing to the other extreme, and she says along the way the art of teaching was lost.
It's nice to see that we're swinging back to the center, and perhaps our teachers will be able to teach and our students will love, love, love coming to school.
You gotta love going to school, right? Among the testing changes, the governor also announced he wants to remove certain requirements in the Georgia milestones testing. That would keep Georgia in line with federal requirements, but would again aim to reduce testing time and increase instruction time. All right, parents, students, weigh in. What do you think about the testing changes that are being proposed tonight? Join the conversation. We have it going on right now in the comment section on the 11Alive Facebook page.
Iowa caucus chaos, why some votes came in so much later than expected. Can you believe how this played out last night? My goodness.
2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun, and they're convenient,
but
but they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about your voice? It is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is, bringing us together.
There were some in Iowa who saw the chaos coming in the Democratic caucuses, including warning signs about that pesky app that didn't do any good stuff. Here's NBC senior legal and investigative correspondent Cynthia McFadden.
Long before Iowa voters gathered at nearly 1,700 caucuses, precinct captains and caucus organizers in the Iowa City area knew of problems with their new app that was supposed to tabulate results like a fancy calculator. This email chain provided to NBC News shows their mounting concerns. 9:09 a.m. Nobody having trouble with the app should feel dumb, one organizer wrote. At 9:13 a.m., a precinct chair replies, I gave up on the app. A few minutes later at 9:29, another jokes, just don't submit your results. By 4:30 p.m., NBC News had talked to 12 precinct chairs who said that they either couldn't download the app or log in. By around 10, some precinct chairs had abandoned the app altogether and resorted to a hotline to call in results. But there were problems.
Being on hold with the Democratic Party trying to report the results was like being on hold with customer service at your cable company.
I have no idea what's going on.
Trouble was clearly brewing, caused, it appears, not by the Russians, but by the Iowa Democratic Party itself, which blamed a coding issue for problems processing results, emphasizing they were not hacked. Security experts tell us they're alarmed that the party has refused to reveal who made the app. Even worse, that the party told precinct chairs to download it to their unsecured personal phones. This morning, Chad Wolf, acting Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, had this to say.
So our Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency has offered to test that app from a hacking perspective. They declined.
I have no knowledge of the Department of Homeland Security making that offer to us.
So who did make the app? A company called Shadow. Receipts showing the $60,000 they were paid. The company run by a former Hillary Clinton staffer. Nevada Democrats saying today they paid the same amount to the same company, but won't be using them or the app and are evaluating next steps. This afternoon, Shadow issuing an apology. We sincerely regret the delay in the reporting of the results of last night's Iowa caucuses.
All right, we won't delay delivering you this late breaking news. You're going to need your umbrellas for a couple of days this week.
Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb now has our forecast. Chris?
Yeah, we're watching this system. It's a cold front that's coming in from the west. It is still a few states away, so the main energy with that is still going to be until late tomorrow night and Thursday, when the main energy gets here with that storm risk. But until then, we're going to be dealing with scattered showers. We saw a few light showers that came through earlier today. Now all that's left is this well down to the south and east of us, near Lake Oconee, parts of Putnam County, into Jasper County. We have a few little showers there. Butts County, also down there just north of Macon, in Monroe County near Forsyth, Georgia, where we have just a couple of light showers around. But nothing major going on here in Atlanta. We had these showers that rolled through a little bit earlier. They were very light, but there's more coming here. So what's happening is we have this front well out to the west, all right? That's the frontal boundary, well out to the west. Ahead of that, we have all this moisture feeding in from the Gulf of Mexico, and that's just going to feed into our area with some of those scattered showers that'll be moving our way. So let me break down the threats that we have over the next couple of days. First, we mentioned earlier that flash flood watch, many areas there, all those counties in green over North Georgia, Metro Atlanta, east of the city, south of the city. 3 to 4 inches of rain possible, minor to moderate flooding possible there too. Here's a look at some of the rain potential that we have. Through tomorrow at noon, we're thinking less than a ½ inch here, maybe some higher amounts up in North Georgia through the afternoon. And then that main line of showers and storms comes through late Wednesday night into Thursday. So by Thursday morning, the blue color showing a ½ inch to 1.5 inches. Purples down to the south and up to the north indicating 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. And then it starts to turn red here, indicating rain amounts through Thursday by lunchtime, 2.5 to 4 inches of rain, and then even more throughout the afternoon hours, where we're seeing some yellows here indicating 4 to 5 inches in some spots. So we may even have some localized areas that could pick up around 6 inches of rain from Wednesday into Thursday. Now, the severe weather threat tomorrow is going to be higher in Mississippi, Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, and in parts of Louisiana, with that level 2 risk. We have the level 1 risk from Atlanta over to the west. Damaging wind gusts, isolated tornadoes possible, and flash flooding. The tornado threat is not a big risk, but there is a chance for some isolated storms around that could have a tornado with it. On Thursday, the slight risk or level 2 risk is over to the east, but we're still in that level 1 risk, still with that potential for isolated tornadoes, damaging winds, and heavy rain. So here's the timing. Scattered showers in the morning. Just know that some of the roads will be a little bit damp, but not really heavy rain and nothing severe. We'll also see at lunchtime some scattered showers mainly to the north. Not a lot of rain around 5 o'clock, but then during the evening, here comes these waves of rain ahead of that front, moderate to heavy rain here with the system. And then Thursday morning, still pockets of heavy rain. And then the actual front comes through from lunchtime and then after lunch. And as that line comes through, that's going to be the part that has that potential for strong storms. Take a look at the QR code that's showing up here at the bottom of your screen. Open up your phone camera, your smartphone, hold it up to that QR code, and that will help you to download the 11Alive app. And that way you can track these storms as they're moving in as well. They'll exit the area on Friday. Cold air wrapping around, might shake out a few flurries up in far north Georgia on Friday, but we don't expect that would cause any issues. So still warm Wednesday and Thursday, and as that system moves out, we cool off Friday, 47 for a high. 56 Saturday, a 30% chance for showers Saturday, maybe some flurries in North Georgia too. Dry Sunday, and then 30 to 40% chances for rain again Monday and Tuesday. Check out our weather wow moment of the day. We have a lot of weather wows today because we got so many pictures of the beautiful sunrise and the rainbows from this morning, sent in by our community storm trackers in the areas of Decula, Athens, Suwanee, also in Buford. We had some pictures of that as well, so thank you for sending those in. We would love for you to be a part of our exclusive weather community. It's called the 11Alive Storm Trackers. Just search for that on Facebook. Ask to become a member of this group. We'll allow you in, and you can be a part of a great group of people who like to share pictures, videos, and weather information for the local area.
I'm Francesca Emacher with the A Scene. You'll soon see Atlanta's own Usher, or Ursher baby, on the big screen. I've got all the details for you on the star-studded movie. It's coming up in the A Scene.
Out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points.
An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibe with it. It's a good time. We don't worry about the hate. We just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see.
There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hence. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're
convenient. But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun.
Yeah.
There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting.
Yeah.
We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about your voice? It is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together, our voices grow.
All right, folks, you know what time it is. You see on the screen, it is time for Tuesday's edition of the AC, and we are kicking off with the newly released trailer from the Georgia film movie called Burden. It's about the KKK. Take a look.
You're about the best thing that's ever happened to someone like me. What you doing now?
Oh, you know, just spend some time.
I know Mike Burton. We used to hang out just like these two. And things are different now.
Why's that?
We're Klansmen.
See that? So Burden stars Atlanta singer Usher, Forrest Whitaker, Garrett Hudlin, and Andrea Riseborough. Now, this movie is set in a small town in South Carolina, and it's deeply rooted in racism. There, we see an unlikely friendship form when an African-American reverend, played by Whitaker, shelters a Klan member along with his girlfriend, Judy. Now, he basically helps him leave his violent past of being a Klansman, and together they heal the community. This is going to be a good film, and we're interviewing Usher in just a couple of weeks. The film comes out February 28th. And a huge congratulations to Tyler Perry, who just received some very exciting news regarding his film, A Fall from Grace, which was his first ever film to stream on Netflix.
Netflix, A Fall from Grace. In the first 7 days, 26 million people chose to watch it in the first 7 days. So from the bottom of my heart, I'm grateful, I'm thankful, I'm blown away by it, I'm inspired, I'm encouraged.
That is huge, guys. And if you want to see the full interview with myself and Tyler Perry that happened a couple of weeks ago, head on over to our 11Alive YouTube page and type in A Fall from Grace. And let us know what you thought of the movie as well.
All right, thanks, Fran. Well, it's time for me to head out to get ready for Up Late, coming up on 11Alive in about 35 minutes. If you are an Up Later, join myself and Ron Jones along with Chris Holcomb. We're going to be there with more news and weather.
Sounds good. Thank you, Aisha. Coming up on the ATL, the Big 36, a father loses his son and starts looking for answers. Why do some officers give medical aid to suspects they've shot while others stand and wait? Our exclusive reveal investigation uncovers why some go beyond the call of duty.
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm gonna be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alerts.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, my movement ain't faded. You could assume what the doing was great.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water, because I'm sugary.
Yeah,
right.
About that.
Well, reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
a little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not gonna be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush,
We hear all the time about police going online and posing as children in order to catch pedophiles. Now a private citizen has conducted his own internet sex sting posing as a child, and then he posted the sting on Facebook Live. Investigators are saying thanks, but taking the law into his own hands as a vigilante may have done more harm than good. Here's John Chiric.
A middle-of-the-night meeting in Villa Rica, shown on Facebook Live this past weekend. This 64-year-old man, according to the person who posted the live video, thought he was going to be meeting for sex a 15-year-old boy he had just met online. Instead, he met Matthias, who says his online stings have so far helped police in various jurisdictions arrest 20 suspected pedophiles.
Because it's the innocence of the kids. These alleged pedophiles or these pedophiles that prey on our kids are taking the innocence away from them and destroying their lives.
The Carroll County Sheriff posted his thanks on Facebook, but urged people not to take the law into their own hands. His investigators say after Matthias confronted the man destroyed evidence, realizing he was about to be arrested. Investigator Ashley Halsey.
And when we confront people and they have time to destroy evidence in cases, it can hurt us once we get into a trial situation.
Matthias believes investigators can find all the evidence they need in the cloud. Halsey says investigators have the man under surveillance, and when they do arrest him, they will then show his face to all and ask for all possible victims to come forward.
There is a push for the public to be able to get information about any Georgia law enforcement officers being investigated for excessive use of force. The idea is to make a database. Supporters say this goes a long way toward transparency and accountability, particularly in police shootings. 2018, the deadliest year on record. According to stats from the GBI, 92 police shootings, 48 of them deadly. Last year, the GBI was asked to investigate 84 police shootings, 37 fatals, and they have been called in to at least 11 so far in 2020. Much of the controversy in officer-involved shootings usually focus on whether the use of force was justified or not. But Chief Investigator Brendan Keefe is exploring another question. Why do some officers heroically try to save suspects they have shot, while others simply wait for an ambulance?
Shut the vehicle off, put your hands outside the window. I'm not going to ask you again. Hands up!
Less than 1 minute is all it took.
Accused of waving a gun at people, seconds later, he fires it.
As the teen runs away,
let me see your hands!
The officer fires.
When the gunfire stops, some officers go above and beyond the call.
He's dead, dude. Oh, we still gotta try. Hold on him, hold on him, hold on him.
Pulling medic duty right after pulling the trigger.
The video showing as officers start CPR until medics arrive.
He does tourniquet for us.
I got one.
Including right here in Atlanta, where officers now carry tourniquets to save each other and the suspects they've just shot.
Hey, stay with me, stay with me.
Sometimes it's a life sentence versus a death sentence.
You don't belong here. You shouldn't be here.
Blake Peacock was shot by a sheriff's deputy in Bleckley County, Georgia.
They didn't render any aid whatsoever after they shot him.
Central shots fired. Have EMS rolling.
Sheriff's deputies called for an ambulance within seconds.
Central shots fired. Have EMS rolling.
But then stood over Blake Peacock as he gasped for air, face down.
Like they shot a deer. They don't even turn him over. He fell on his face. They didn't care at that point.
The second deputy rushed to his patrol car, not to get a trauma kit, but yellow police tape.
You knew EMS was on the way. Why didn't you try to save his life?
When the ambulance finally arrived, Blake still had a slight pulse, but it was too late. So Blake's parents sued the deputies for deliberate indifference.
The judge ruled that they have no obligation to render first aid.
It's the good people behind the badges that are trying to give aid when they can. But if you make that a law that they are required to, then we're going to get into these second-guessing situations where the officer tactically wasn't able to, and they could be facing criminal liability. That's not appropriate.
Edwin Peacock.
Ed Peacock is now on a mission, starting with his hometown and the city council in Cochran, Georgia.
Did you have any luck with the city council?
Officers should immediately provide any necessary medical assistance to the subject. And I'm hoping that'll be the ripple in the pond. It'll go across the whole country. Y'all rest in peace.
Police bust 3 boys who say they were breaking into cars in the Brookhaven Heights community. Officers arrested 17-year-old Julio Rodriguez Mora and 2 other boys. A person who lives in the neighborhood told police they saw the 3 suspects tugging on a car door and the handles last week trying to get inside. Brookhaven police think they were using the Neighbors platform offered by Ring to find their next victim. A Brookhaven mother will appear on a national TV show, In Pursuit with John Walsh. Estefania Roman Aguilar is wanted for the murder of her 5-month-old daughter in 2016. Police responded to a call about the child being unresponsive. The cause of death was eventually determined to be suffocation. Police never found Roman Aguilar, and they are also looking for her father, Jose Hilario Gomez. Investigators believe they could be living somewhere in the southeast United States, but really have no idea where they are. In Pursuit with John Walsh airs tomorrow at 10 p.m. on Investigation Discovery. Car break-ins are not just annoying, they can end up costing you thousands of dollars and taking away your sense of security as well. We have seen so many of them on the east side of town, nearly 130 cars targeted in just the last couple of weeks. Natisha Land spoke to Atlanta police about what you can do to help curb this crime. Good luck.
Don't leave valuables in your car.
The message from Atlanta police is simple. Although they've increased patrols in the East Atlanta area, car break-ins were up by 49% last week since last year.
Another day in town living.
Chris Wiley woke up to find his front window broken in the top deck of his parking garage at the Station R apartment on Moreland. He says tools were stolen.
If they could break into your house or car, what else are they capable of doing?
Police reports show more than a dozen others at the apartment were hit 5 days before Chris. Are part of a rash of cars broken into on MLK Day at 3 locations. Last week, APD released this surveillance video of 3 men they believe are responsible.
I think we need to be stricter about, the crimes, even if they're petty crimes.
Atlanta police say they've made some arrests. Since many of the criminals were underage, oftentimes the jail won't take them. Instead, they're turned over to a guardian or parent, then back on the street.
It's frustrating when we're out there, we're making good arrests, we're putting a lot of effort into trying to crack down on these types of incidents.
Well, everybody has a theory about, what they think we'll do to stave off robbery. Some think it is better just to leave the door unlocked to avoid having to pay for a new window. Once again, APD says the most important thing to do is to make sure that everything of any kind of value is out of your vehicle. All right, put down the phone or face a tougher fine. One of Georgia's lawmakers wants to up the penalties for people who violate the hands-free law. That would be about 100% of us in this state. Right now, the hands-free law calls for a $50 fine the first time a driver is caught using their phone. The maximum fine for the second offense is $100. State Representative John Carson wants to throw out the warning. He wants to double the fines right away, meaning if this passes, fines could be up to $300 on a third offense. A State House committee heard testimony on the new bill yesterday, but they will put off a decision until next week. More than 31 television and film projects currently being filmed in our state, and despite last year's controversial abortion bill that is stalled in court, business leaders say the state's film industry continues to thrive.
It really is a critical asset to our state and to the city to be a leader in the film industry.
We're staying here.
The Rotary Club of Atlanta hosted an expert panel discussion yesterday, highlighting the benefits of continuing to grow the state's film industry. But just how much it helps Georgia is a topic of debate. A recent state audit says the benefit of the film industry has been overstated by billions of dollars. The state claimed production brought 92,000 jobs in 2016, but the audit found that number was about 29,000 jobs gained and 19,000 others lost. So the net benefit was about 9,000 jobs. A new parking lot being built in Metro Atlanta. It will provide easier access to a new park, which is scheduled to open later this year, but it comes at a very big price. The parking lot and public restrooms will be built over a portion of land that served as part of the Battle of Atlanta in 1864, and it is a trench. It is a trench that certainly is irreplaceable. And 11Alive reporter Jay Plyburn has more.
This is an American history time capsule. This is the biggest intact piece of battlefield we have left. It's 83 acres here on the National Register of Historic Places. This is the anchor fort. It's a 7-gun anchor fort, and the cannons go in this fort. These have been around for more than 150 years. This is the trench line, built in June of 1864. It was the last defense line during the Civil War in Cobb County. It was the last barrier to the natural barrier, which is the Chattahoochee River. Once the troops crossed the river, then they were able to capture Atlanta. Cobb County, thankfully, has allocated money to open it as a park. That's the good news. The bad news is they're willing to sacrifice the historic site to put asphalt and sewage on it. As you can see, this is very challenging land terrain. It's going to be a major engineering feat to try to put a parking lot and restrooms here, especially considering that 700 acres around this park is already flat. It's already parking lot ready. By putting asphalt here and restrooms, they're sacrificing historic land for infrastructure, and that degrades the site. The land is irreplaceable. Once it's gone, it's gone.
We spoke with Cobb County Commissioner Lisa Cupid, who says the parking lot and restrooms were approved more than a year ago following public hearings. Construction will go ahead as planned, and the park is scheduled to open in March, and that is too bad.
We had a few light showers that came through the area a little bit earlier. Those have now moved through. More back into Alabama, and then storms out by the Mississippi River that'll eventually make it into our area. We have some new computer model data and an update on the timing next.
All right, coming up, Atlanta United has several new faces around the club, including a new midfielder from Ireland. Hear how he is adjusting to Atlanta next in sports.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're
convenient. But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
your voice? It is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
bringing us together to act?
Together, our voices grow. Together, we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
And cliffhangers.
They would wait the next week. You're, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on the Morning Rush on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
There are those who wish to invade your privacy in your most private moments, and the technology is out there. It has been miniaturized to the point where you just can't see it. So, is there something out there? There can be. We have reported on several cases of hidden cameras in some of Atlanta's busiest restaurants, public spaces, restrooms, you pick it, locker rooms, they all have been there. So how do you spot something that shouldn't be in your changing room or in the bathroom stalls? Nicole Zymek with our station in Phoenix learned from an expert, and she's sharing some of those tips tonight.
Cameras can fit in anything. Can you spot the camera on this phone charger? It's here.
And of course, a lot of people are victimized. They may not even know it.
Lonnie Dworkin is a forensic investigator. He sees firsthand how criminals misuse hidden cameras and where they hide them.
Dressing rooms,
public bathrooms. That's most of what I've found. They're the easiest to target.
And not always obvious. So would you be able to spot the camera in a dressing room, in a bathroom? We're putting me to the test. Kiss Me Kate Boutique in Phoenix allowing us in for this experiment, letting our investigator set up cameras.
We have a variety of very small cameras.
Without me knowing where.
Okay, so inside the dressing room right now, and I'm looking around, and this is standard dressing room, so you know that they aren't very big.
You wouldn't think there'd be many places to hide a camera.
Nothing on the walls. I'm not seeing anything on these hooks.
I don't see any cameras, but the cameras see me.
Nothing there.
In fact, I look right at one of the hidden cameras and still miss it. So where are they? The first camera is behind the small black sign. I thought it was just decoration.
And it's also located in a space that most people don't look at. When you walk into a dressing room, you don't look up and around. You're looking at the mirror and you want to try the clothes on.
Right.
The second camera?
Would you like a hint?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you my camera.
Okay, and then I can see it based on.
Yes.
Well, okay, so it's going from down. And I see, okay, it's got to be in that basket.
Yes.
Recording up at me. An intrusive angle for anyone changing. What about inside a bathroom? We've seen headlines about hidden cameras in public bathrooms.
It's alive. Wait for it to come online here. Here we go.
All right, so here we are inside a public bathroom. Unfortunately, there are very often times hidden cameras in public bathrooms like this.
Meanwhile, Lonnie is watching me on his phone.
And then as you can see, just at first glance, I'm not seeing anything except for this right here. I feel like that just might be a scent diffuser.
I linger on the air freshener, but I'm not sure, and I can't really tell.
Okay, so I'm seeing the angle here, and I've clearly missed something very obvious. Is it up here? Is it that one?
Yeah.
The one that I thought was the sensor,
yes.
Or I thought it was a scent thing. Well, Lonnie, that is unsettling. What's the takeaway?
Generally, they're looking for voyeur angles, which might be from the floor up or from high down. So I would look for things around the edges of the stall. Any equipment that doesn't belong on the floor.
We're still tracking just a few areas of light rain, mainly south and east of the city right now. Some of that down into parts of Butts County. Nothing really major. Right there on the Butts County and Spalding County line. Over toward Eatonton into Greene County, a couple of light showers. Also down toward Macon, we have a few light showers. There's a little bit more back into Alabama that we're watching near Auburn and also over toward Alexander City. And we'll just see some of this moisture coming through tonight with just a few scattered showers that'll be around. There's more coming though, even though most of that activity is pushing over to the east. We have more of this out to the west, this in Alabama. And then there's the frontal boundary well out to the west that'll be pushing through our area really overnight Wednesday. And then the actual front passes through on Thursday. So up ahead of that front, that's where we're going to see more of those showers and even some stronger thunderstorms possible. So here's a look at what we're watching when you're talking about the main threats that we'll be dealing with. Take a look at the bigger picture here, and you can see that flash flood watch in effect. That includes Metro Atlanta, areas east of the city, south of the city, and all of North Georgia, and even back into Alabama as well. We could see average rainfall amounts between 3 and 4 inches possible on Wednesday and Thursday. Minor to moderate flooding is also possible here. Here's a look at some of those rain totals. Less than a ½ inch during the day tomorrow. So not significant rain early tomorrow. It's going to be late Wednesday, overnight into Thursday when we see more of that heavy rain coming in. In the morning on Thursday, we're talking about a ½ inch to 1.5 inches. But then look at these totals building. The red color by lunchtime indicating 2.5 to 4 inches of rain. And then we start seeing some yellows in there with the actual passage of the front indicating rainfall amounts over 4 inches in some spots. Not everybody getting that much, but there will be some localized areas picking up maybe 4 to 6 inches of rain. The severe weather threat tomorrow, the slight risk or level 2 risk is over to the west, but we have a marginal risk or level 1 risk coming into Atlanta, meaning the potential for isolated storms that could have damaging winds, isolated tornadoes, and then flash flooding is that main threat. And then on Thursday, The level 2 risk is east of the city, but we still have that marginal or level 1 risk here, still with that chance for damaging winds, isolated tornadoes. So you can see tomorrow that it's not going to rain all day. Scattered showers in the morning, at lunchtime on the north side, not a lot at 5 o'clock for the drive home, but then evening hours, overnight Wednesday into Thursday, we see these bands of heavy rain, and then when the actual front comes through right here, as we get into the afternoon hours on Thursday, that's when we have that better potential for some of those stronger storms that move through. Then everything pushes out. We clear out on Friday. Still a lingering low rain chance and maybe even a few flurries up in North Georgia Friday as that moisture pulls out and the cold air comes in. Saturday, a 30% chance for a light shower. Again, the potential for some flurries up north. Dry Sunday with low rain chances again Monday and Tuesday.
Sports on this Tuesday night. Trae Young will be in the three-point contest during the NBA All-Star Weekend. And new for this year, the Mountain Dew Zone, 6 feet behind the three-point line where the points are tripled. And somewhere Trae will excel with those kinds of shots that he's able to nail. That great transition he's made from college to the NBA. Georgia Tech at home trying to get back in the win column. Jose Alvarado had a huge night against Georgia Tech, making shots all over the floor. Some terrific floaters, multiple threes, then his classic guitar celebration. Alvarado had 19 points by halftime. Virginia Tech only scored 18 in the first half. Alvarado expecting a baby at any time now. Congrats to him and the Yellow Jackets. They get the win. 76-57, the final. They have won 3 of their last 4. This offseason, Atlanta United got rid of a number of key pieces and a fan favorite, but they have replaced those guys with new faces. And one of the new guys is Jake Mulroney, an Irish player who is ready to tackle the MLS.
Adjusting to a new team can be hard.
I knew Mo Adams before I came here, so that made it a little bit easier.
Jake Mulroney was acquired by Atlanta United from Hearts in Scotland. Having a friend already on the team was nice, but that doesn't mean the adjustment has been easy.
Being away from my daughter and the family is a little bit different.
Mulroney's a versatile winger who can also play striker, and he's looking to fit in with Atlanta United any way he can.
So much quality in the team, and it just seems to click on the pitch.
On the pitch, Mulroney has a few things to learn. Aside from finding out where he fits on the pitch, he also has to learn a new language so he can communicate with his new teammates.
Me and Manny G was speaking about doing some Spanish lessons, which I think is necessary, to be honest. So I'll definitely be working on my Spanish, yeah.
He has a few things to learn, but Mulroney is ready for the season to start.
I've never played in like an international cup. And just to see different cultures, what way they play over there, and just a different culture and a different style and a different team. I'm just looking forward to the experience, really. Yeah.
All right, baseball. The Braves are officially on the road to spring training in Northport, Florida. The truck was loaded up today. A lot of Powerade, water, and equipment. Pitchers and catchers report February 12th, full squad on the 18th. Meanwhile, outside, they were taking off the rest of the SunTrust logo. Ah, we hardly knew ye. Those truest signs will be going up any day now for those of you scoring at home. In the college football world, Michigan State head coach Mark D'Antonio has retired after 13 years. The timing of this certainly, you don't have to be a New York Times sports writer to understand how this is going down. NCAA violations against D'Antonio came out yesterday. Biggest allegations that he gave recruits' parents employment. Can't do that. He knows the rules, and he's fighting the allegations in court, so we will see how it plays out. That's it for sports.
Subscribe to 11Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Mom, where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie.
No.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm gonna be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. only on 11Alive.
The 11Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alerts.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, movement ain't faded. You could assume what you're doing was great.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed.
In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Chester.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Televised newscast, not enough for you.
We're going to see scattered showers early tomorrow, and then the heavier rain comes in late Wednesday, overnight into Thursday. The storm threat is higher on Thursday, and then we cool off, dry out a little bit on Friday. Low rain chance Saturday, dry again Sunday with low rain chances again Monday and Tuesday.
I got flowers in my house already. They need the rain.
They need some water.
Be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, a little water in my
Yes.
cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these 2 hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little 5 Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibe with it. It's a good time. We don't worry about the hate. We just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see.
There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hints. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
They're
And
a
they're
lot of fun.
convenient. But they're